Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser with the first pick in the second round of the NBA draft. The Houston Rockets picked Bruce Thornton from The Ohio State University. The four-time captain's the first Buckeye to be drafted since Bryce Sensabaugh in 2023. With the fourth pick in the second round, the Cavaliers snagged Arkansas guard Malik Thomas. The NHL draft is tomorrow night in Buffalo. The Maple Leafs have the top pick there. Blue Jackets pick at 14. We'll have live NHL draft coverage on the Fan tomorrow night at 7. In baseball Wednesday, Guardians beat the White Sox 4-3 in 10. Khalil Watson had a pair of hits, including the game-winning RBI single in the 10th. Cleveland's off Thursday. Guardians host the Mariners Friday. As for the Reds, Milwaukee broke out the brooms yesterday in Cincinnati, beating the Reds 6-5. Reds are in Pittsburgh Friday for a weekend with the Pirates, and Team USA wraps up World Cup group play tonight against Turkey at 10 o'clock. This update is sponsored by United Dairy Farmers. Try UDF's new Ice Cream Quake summer flavors, but only for a limited time.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy, Austin Ward. My good buddy, Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Tiberi here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only two guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
I pushed back against this last week, but for a time of the year where there's not a lot going on, boy, there sure is a lot going on. Happy Thursday, everybody. Eric Reeser, Ryan Baker. Bo's got the boys in Virginia doing the youth sports this weekend. So we called up the biggest gun we have at the station, the pride of Olentangy, Joshua Perry. Joshua, good morning.
The biggest gun.
The biggest gun we got.
You guys got to...
We're shooting big.
Dial it back a little bit. Setting expectations a little bit too high.
So this is radio, and I am contractually obligated to not dial it back.
Yeah, that is
fact,
fair.
The wording in my contract, do not dial things back. Did you agree with my statement? Because I always feel when you get into the summer, there's somewhat of a malaise. And because you don't have actual games that you care about. And sorry to baseball, which I love. Sorry to the World Cup, which I love. Sorry to basketball, which I love. This is a football town. This is a football market. Most of you within the sound of my voice are football fans. That all you want is football. And I will caution, don't wish the summer away just to get to football season.
Well,
I know. I understand. When you do like the 74 days or the 86 days, or the however many days until Ohio State football, hard not to. I booked Tim May yesterday for tomorrow at 10:30. And in our conversation, he told me that Ross Bjork's going to hold a press conference today.
okay.
And I said, what about? He's like, well, he kind of wants to get stuff out of the way so he doesn't have to do a big press conference in August. I'm like, oh, some changes might be afoot for this upcoming football season. Because I think the last time he did one of these was the infamous camp press conference.
How's it going?
That and other things that were announced for Ohio State. But for the job that Ross Bjork has, it's to throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. There cannot be a bad idea in all of this.
Well.
There can't. Now, you have to implement it. You have to execute it. And then I think you could say, all right, that was bad. We shouldn't do that again.
It's a rough deal to that point because there's so many things. You're trying to capture people's attention and you're trying to entertain a generation of people who are so bought in on experiences. Right, this is an experiential time in the calendar of humanity, and so I get it. However, I just want the ball. That's it.
That's fair. I thought about you last night because I knew we were doing the show today and tomorrow, and I do want to get your first welcome to the NFL experience. Because Bruce Thornton, as you heard the update anchor say there, was taken with the first pick in the second round by the Houston Rockets. And so for Thornton, I'm thrilled because I think it's a really good landing spot for him. I think Jayshawn Tate and the success he's had there kind of sets up for at least some faith that Bruce can make an impact early. This doesn't feel that Bruce is going to be one of those G League guys that is consistently G League or not G League.
Right.
Because yesterday with some of the news that came out, you'd wondered maybe Bruce seeks that 5 for 5 because there's a handful of athletes that filed a lawsuit in Hamilton County to try to get the 5 for 5 done a little bit earlier because it's not going to be implemented until 2027. So enrollees in 2027 next fall, they will be under that new rule. Everybody else is kind of grandfathered into the old ways. I don't think that's going to be the case for Bruce, and I'm thrilled for that because one, it doesn't make Ohio State fans have to have the uncomfortable conversation about, well, what about Alabama? Did Charles Bediako? We were all mad about that. What if your school does that?
Right. Well, the whole conversation has been, it's bad when they do it, but if we did it, we'd find a way to excuse it, right? So I get that.
I feel like that would be the case because there are some schools this fall or later in the fall that will be fielding G Leaguers.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's not great, and it's not how this should be going. But I've maintained forever that if we really want to make meaningful change in the sport, the coaches have to be the ones to make and implement the change. There have to be the rules that the coaches have to abide by.
But they don't like following the rules either.
Looking at talking to you, Nate Oates and Will Wade.
Yeah.
You're right, because they got to win, or else they're not going to have the job. So I think then you keep having these conversations. But there are plenty of changes that the NCAA is discussing that will look to be adopted here in the coming weeks. We'll get to all of that throughout the program. Paul Finebaum is going to join at 10:30. Pat Forty from Sports Illustrated had some interesting comments about Tony Petitti, and he referenced them in a way that made Tony Petitti look bad and not in doing what's in the best interests of college athletics, primarily college football. But I want to ask Paul if that's not what Greg Sankey's job is as well.
Right.
So 10:30, we'll have that conversation with Paul. And then the NHL draft is tomorrow. The Blue Jackets pick at 14. Do they need Zach Werenski to recommit to the franchise? We'll get Jody Shelley's take on that coming up at 11:30. The best mailbag I've ever opened in terms of emails, we'll get to at 10 o'clock. So that's a long con tease for next hour. But back to the welcome to the NFL moment for you. The welcome to the NBA moment for Bruce Thornton might not be until the first practice with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, well.
Because that's a hell of a thing where you go from 4 years at Ohio State, you're the captain, you're the leader, you're unquestioned one of the guys that everybody looks to.
Right.
And he might still be that in the NBA because the Rockets do have a very young roster that Bruce, the kind of person that he is, can step forward and become a leader instantly, have that instant impact.
Sure.
But the albatross of albatrosses looming large over that organization is KD.
Well, you step into practice, you see this alien-looking 7-foot dude pull up from anywhere on the court, got a lot of skill, and it's like, yeah, it's a little bit of a different deal than what I was dealing with when I was in college. When I was in the league, like, certainly there was that on-field adjustment. The thing to me that became crazy, and I think it's such a unique spot for players that are becoming professionals now, because some of them have dealt with large sums of money. But the way these guys in the locker room would play cards, and they would have like $5,000 in cash that they were just gambling in the locker room was insane to me. The rookie dinner where you go out and they spend all of your money and you put your card down. It was crazy to see the types of things these guys would spend money on and just knew. Like, you and I walking into a steakhouse, we know what our limitations are, right?
Are you the kind of guy that looks at the menu before you go to a restaurant?
100%.
Same.
And especially if I'm going with a group of people, like, you don't want to be the guy who's like getting the outlier meal or whatever the case is, right?
And I'm not trying to take too long when the waiter's standing there, especially with a group.
But every man's got to know his limitations. These guys are ordering liquor that is like $400 a shot, bottles of it to go. That doesn't even compute in my mind at the time. That was the welcome to the NFL moment for me.
Do you remember how much was spent on your? Was it just you that had to cover the rookie dinner?
It was me and one other linebacker rookie. We just went with the linebacker group, but it ended up being like I must have put $4,500 on my card or whatever the case was.
That's insane. But I you hear the horror stories.
They get it up off you. It's not as bad as some of these other guys. I've heard guys that had to spend.
Was it Garrett Wilson that had a couple, like 100,000 on his?
Yeah, well, he had it, so.
That's true.
First round draft pick.
It's crazy different with where we are.
It's a crazy way to haze people, though.
Yeah.
Like, here, let me just steal all of your money that you just got. Welcome to the league.
And that'll be, I think, and I don't know if it's done differently or how it's done, with rookies in the NBA, but I do think Thornton going to the Houston Rockets is a great spot. Fred VanVleet, I want to say, is coming off an injury, but he's also an undersized guard.
Yep.
So there's a pathway there for Bruce to make not an immediate impact, but to make enough of an impact in year one to where you can really stretch a great NBA career out of this.
I think it was the surprise of the draft last night, that first pick of the second round.
Sure was.
It's Bruce Thornton. We talked about this yesterday. The NBA draft has got to figure something out that the NFL draft has, and let's finalize these trades.
Yeah.
Quit giving these guys hats for teams they're never going to play for.
It's insane.
Or at least they're not going to play for them for a long while. That's just ridiculous, because they're already telling you the pick is traded, but they're coming out wearing that New York. It's so bad. But you mentioned Fred VanVleet, an undersized point guard, where Bruce could, they don't lose anything or change anything when it's interchangeable. Also, you already have a guy there who has succeeded that being an undersized player from your university, in Jayshawn Tate. And I don't think anybody thought when Jayshawn Tate left Ohio State that he was going to have an NBA career at all, let alone the one he has had, which has been pretty good. So this does seem like a really good spot and fit for Bruce, and if there's somewhere he was going to make it, this sure seems like a good place for him.
Now, I think the biggest adjustment for Bruce will be the Kevin Durant experience. But here's Thornton when he was asked that question after being drafted last night.
Probably playing over 100 games in a year. There's a deep playoff team this year, so me just adjusting my body, having time management skills to play over 100 games and try to win a championship.
Yeah, you're doing a lot.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot, and you're doing a lot immediately, just to get acclimated to everything.
And take care of that body.
I'm against the load management as an excuse to not play big games, but I get it from the bodily standpoint of we're asking our athletes nowadays to play too much.
You're asking them to be different. Like, I watch highlights. This is why one of my favorite things to do is to basically say that Jordan couldn't play in this era because of the guys that he was playing around. He wouldn't have looked the same.
Yeah.
But it's a different type of athlete.
It is.
It's a different type of game. How they get up and down the court is completely different. I know they would never do it, but it almost feels like maybe you shrink the season down a few games so you can get guys to invest in playing a little bit more. I understand where they're at. I hate it too, but you got to take care of that body.
So for Bruce, he also talked about how he wants to make an impact with the Rockets.
I think it starts on defense. Me just getting into the ball, being disruptive, making big-time shots. We got great players like Sengun and KD at a very high level. So me just feeling in my role at the high level, doing the things they need me to do, and just impact winning as much as I possibly can and be a great teammate in the locker room.
And so for the first time since 2023, Bryce Sensabaugh was the last Buckeye to be drafted in the NBA. But Bruce, one of the guys that you were rooting for to get this opportunity. Now he gets this opportunity, and one of the reasons I think you can pay a little bit more attention to the Houston Rockets this season, outside of the Kevin Durant circus and what could be, because I think we've talked a lot about the NBA. The drama is better off the court than it is on the court, and so this will be very, very exciting and very excited for Bruce. I saw something from Jeremiah Smith that is one of the more wild things in the last 25 years. I'll tell you about it, then we'll discuss next. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The buzz is real at Zoombezi Bay's award-winning conservation tower. 3 all-new water slides, 1 thrilling experience. Make your splash at ZoombeziBay.com.
There's this thing repair people do nowadays.
Mappo's Plumbing. Sure, we do have a dispatch fee. It's $1 zillion.
A dispatch fee, a trip charge, going out to your house bill.
Bippity Bing Bong Electrical. Our trip charge is a nice new car.
But not Apex Pros, the pros who knows. When you call Apex for repairs on your AC, plumbing, or electric, there's no dispatch fee.
Thank you for calling Apex Pros. Why would we? Kinda silly to ask for money before we do anything, isn't it?
We give you an upfront price only after we know what's really going on. We think it's the right thing to do, instead of
Slappy's AC, electric, plumbing, dry cleaning, haberdashery, and chiropractic. Of course we charge to come out. $1 kajillion, 3 diamond rings, and 2 exotic pets.
Apex Pros. Never a dispatch fee. Examples of competitive rates may have been slightly exaggerated.
Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
Whether you're repping the orange and brown or shouting Hoo Day, the ultimate football pilgrimage is closer than you think. Ditch the living room, get the family on the road, and make the short drive to greatness and visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. From the backyard to the gridiron, it's the one place where every fan comes together to create new family memories. Make it a weekend to remember and see why Ohio truly is the heart of football. Visit profootballhof.com and plan your visit today.
Hey, it's Bo Bishop here. If you've been thinking about an RV, now is the time at RCD RV. They've got over 850 RVs in stock. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers from trusted brands like Cougar, Georgetown, Springdale, Forest River, and Salem. Trade values are sky high right now, and every RV purchase from RCD RV comes with a $500 ODNR gift card for your next Ohio State Park getaway. This limited time event ends June 27th, so don't wait. Visit RCD RV or shop now at rcdrv.com.
High energy bills? Your HVAC system could be the reason. Save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with Columbus Worthington Air. Smart homeowners know an old air conditioner can cost you more every month. Don't let it drain your wallet. Upgrade to efficient, reliable comfort with payment options that fit your budget. Backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Experience the adrenaline of Barrett Jackson in Columbus, Ohio, June 25th to 27th. See hundreds of no-reserve collector cars cross the auction block, interactive sponsor displays, and a wide selection of food and drinks. It's an exciting, high-octane event for fans of all ages. Tickets on sale now at barrett-jackson.com.
2 hours ago, Kyle arrived at the bar.
Hey, what's everyone drinking?
30 minutes ago, Kyle got his friends another round of drinks.
Cheers!
5 minutes ago, Kyle decided to drive home drunk. A minute ago, a law enforcement officer pulled up behind Kyle.
Sir, have you been drinking tonight?
A chain of events that began 2 hours ago is about to change Kyle's whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny to partly sunny skies today with our temperatures getting into the mid to low 80s, and there will be a chance of showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon and early evening. That could linger overnight, otherwise mostly cloudy with lows down into the 60s. And then for Friday, we will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms develop. Otherwise, expect mostly to partly cloudy skies with highs near 80 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Miss a little, miss a lot. Catch Bishop and Friends wherever you get your podcasts. It's free.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The Fan. What's the weather outside? Who cares? Bakers and shorts. This is Bishop and Friends.
Yes, it is. Eric Reeser, the aforementioned Ryan Baker, the Pride of Olentangy, Joshua Perry, in with us for the next 2 days. The last time I had purchased a college football video game, Larry Fitzgerald was on the cover. So that should kind of tell you
a little while ago
how long it's been since I've done this. But I do understand the excitement that comes with this. And it's really, Joshua, for me, one of the things that had me fall in love with the sport was because you got to play as so many different teams. Like I won so many national championships with Pittsburgh. But you're playing against teams all over the country. You're getting the stadium experiences. You're getting more, I think, than you do in Madden. I think more than what you do in some of these other sporting games. I think FIFA offers a similar experience where you're not familiar with college sports or college football in California.
Sure.
You're just not, and then obviously the more we've grown and the more college football games have been available to us on streamers, on more stations, on more channels, you get that. And obviously this job gives you those kinds of perks to have those experiences.
Right.
But for me, it was more formative because of that college football video game.
Yeah, I mean, I was never big into video games, but I would talk to some of my friends who were, and like it's funny because you listen to people who play Madden, and I think the biggest thing that they get out of that is like building their playbook and like understanding football from a conceptual level. To your point, like dudes would talk about the Coliseum, right? Like they would play that game and they would talk about all of the big atmospheres. They talk about Death Valley, right? Like it was more of an education about what separated college football from everything else that we enjoy. And so I know a lot of people were sad when the game went away, and I know people were ecstatic when it came back.
Yep.
Feels to me like the game didn't have to go away, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
It is one of the things that kind of set all this off in name, image, and likeness to where we are today, because in future iterations of the game past the Larry Fitzgerald version, you could make teams. You could make your favorite players. You could assign jersey numbers of your favorite players. Like you could have 13 for Ohio State playing running back. You could have number 10, the quarterback for Ohio State. And then I think EA Sports even started making teams that had 15, the quarterback for Florida. Well, that looks a lot like Tim Tebow. That image and likeness is very similar to the actual quarterback that plays for the Gators. And I even remember that for the PlayStation, you could send in a memory card somewhere and they would upload rosters to that memory card, and then they would send it back to you. And then as you got PlayStation Connect, as you got Xbox Live, you could download rosters that had the names and had the numbers and had similar stats. And then I think that's where it really started with Ed O'Bannon and the college basketball video game is, well, we're not seeing any of this.
Yeah, these people are actually us, and y'all are making a ton of money, and we're over here getting a pat on the back because we're in the game. Help us out a little bit.
And really, you'd made the point earlier where if you had just acquiesced to those simple demands.
Give them $50 and a copy of the game, and the game would have never had to go away, and you probably wouldn't be in this weird spot. There are so many, and I use this analogy, there were so many opportunities to give the starving people crumbs to avoid where we're at right now in collegiate athletics, and they wouldn't even give the crumbs out.
And it's so funny that they didn't do that, and I understand that the NCAA has death-gripped amateurism and is still trying to, but it's so funny that they didn't do that to appease people, because it seems like in every other part of life, that's what happens. We'll give you just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit to keep you quiet for a little bit, and then, well, it's starting to get noisy again. We'll give you just a little bit. So it's crazy that they never did that.
So it's crazy for me to see yesterday Jeremiah Smith on his own personal Twitter account retweeting College Football 27, the first ever 99 overall at launch belongs to Jeremiah Smith.
Wow.
And now that's certainly deserving. He's certainly the best player in college football, but just remembering where we used to be and where we've come to where now Jeremiah's retweeting an advertisement for this game, because with the news that he's the first 99 overall at launch, you can become an MVP Plus member by 7/1 for 7-day early access. So make sure you're ready on July 1st to get that early access to this video game, which is going to cost, what, $75, $80?
How much did they pay for that retweet?
That's the thing, right?
Yep.
They're absolute, and he's absolutely earned that.
Yeah, this is not a knock on Jeremiah, but it's just such a different world than 10 years before this.
And isn't this what NIL... True NIL was supposed to be about? Because you just mentioned, JP, how much did they pay for that tweet, but how much did they make?
No doubt.
From that tweet. This is the way it's supposed to be.
These
where
are the
all
deals.
Parties involved thrive and benefit from it.
Right. But we to expand on that, it starts with the point that Jeremiah is actually a marketable athlete whose name, image, and likeness has immense value, as compared to a lot of these people who are just showing up and I need $10,000 for a recruiting visit. Call that an NIL package, and I don't know who the hell you are. That is not NIL, just to be clear.
So I think it's funny, Reese. We judge a lot of things on what we talk about on this show. You can see different numbers when you talk about some things, more people. And the best that we have in real time is the YouTube chat. Mm-hmm. And I know that's a small percentage of our listeners, but still. And I'm not a video game guy and haven't been in a long time. JP, I know you said you're not the biggest video game guy. Reese, I don't know. I don't think you're a gamer anymore. The YouTube chat is loving this. The YouTube chat is all about the video games right now. So this is obviously something that people like talking about.
Well, we even talked about the fanfare that surrounded the game announcing it was coming back. Mm-hmm. This is like a year before an actual game was released, maybe 2 years before a game was actually released. EA Sports had that, hey, we're bringing the thing back. And everybody's like, we love the thing.
Yes.
Let's celebrate the thing coming back. And then it was 2 years until the thing actually came back. But the folks over 11 Warriors did some rumor roundup, and it does look like Julian Sane is another player in the 90s, along with Jeremiah. Dante Moore is a 95, Colin Simmons a 95, Malachi Toney, Miami wide receivers at a 96, Indiana offensive tackle Carter Smith a 97.
Olentangy Liberty guy, Carter Smith.
How do they judge an offensive tackle on these rankings?
Hey, man, can you lock him up? Can you block him?
You know what's funny? Well, Carter Smith, like looking at some of the draft rankings, it's interesting how people have him. Some people have him like the third or fourth best tackle. A lot of people have him as the best guard, though, for this upcoming NFL draft. Also, something I didn't see in here, Reese, the presumptive number 1 pick in the draft. Arch Manning.
Where's Arch Manning's stats?
He's not on these lists. Julian Sayin, who's been disrespected so much, is a 94, but yet Arch.
Oh, Bake. Me and you get along
that was promised.
so well because I'm sick and damn tired of it, too. I am.
I don't see him on this list of 90s.
And he shouldn't be.
I'm seeing a 91 overall at launch. And I keep seeing that phrase, the launch. So do you have an opportunity, or is there
they're
a patch to where the settings go down?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm seeing on some of these lists, Trinidad Chambliss, what's his rating? CJ Carr. And to Trinidad Chambliss and to Joey Aguilar, who I think is with the Jacksonville Jaguars now, but Diego Pavia and all these guys who are seeking a 5th year. We're seeking extra eligibility. It's because of checks like this.
Oh, of course.
You don't really have to do anything.
That's the part that...
and here comes the money. And
that part bothers me.
It makes the most sense in the world why so many of these guys would be arguing for that 5 to play 5. And even once you hear the news of 5 to play 5, there's a handful of athletes in Hamilton County, or at least it was filed in Hamilton County, seeking to have the 5 to play 5 implemented a year earlier so that they can take advantage of that.
Go get a job. No, I mean, like, it's a group of players who were...
Sure, they would consider this a job.
They're good enough to not have redshirted, but they want the extra year to play. Go get a job. You played. Plenty. Like, I'm here for the 5 for 5. I actually think it's a great solution to the eligibility question, but I'm so far disconnected from the current player that I don't feel bad for these 2022s that would have played for 4 years and are seeking that last one because they don't want to go get a regular job.
To your point, I usually hate, well, it's not the rule now, but it was then. So you either live by it, or if you broke it, you get the punishments. Like, I'm not one of those persons. I will say, in this injunction, though, one of the things they mention is that these athletes were kind of affected by the COVID years, where athletes got extra years, and athletes that were supposed to be gone were infringing on their time. So I do understand that a little bit. I think they have a little bit of point that might have me on your side, but I'm with you. It sucks, but the rules were what they were then.
It's just like, I get where they're getting at with that, but you still played. Like, it's hard for me as a guy who, like, we basically... When I got to college, we couldn't have a bagel and cream cheese at the same time. So it's really hard for me to feel bad that you played for 4 years, but you want the extra year of the NIL check, which I totally understand where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. Well, the rest of us had to go out in the world and make things happen. So the clock just runs out.
So the 5 to play 5 is coming soon. An injunction would like to have it earlier. That and some other changes to the college football calendar. Could this actually be a step in the right direction? We'll discuss that in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
Guys, listen up. I found the truck that works as hard as you do. That's the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 at McDaniel GM Superstore. Iceman here with my friends at McDaniel. This month, save up to $13,000 off MSRP or get 0% APR for 60 months. Or lease for $265 a month for 24 months with $39.98. Due at signing for qualified buyers. See dealer for details. McDaniel GM Superstore is just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place, here with a happy customer.
Wilson's trying very hard.
Thanks, Mom. I mean, Margaret.
Wilson, is this your mom?
Yes.
Mom.
Wilson, your mom should like your windows.
Oh, I wouldn't know. We actually have Pella windows.
Mom!
They've really lowered our energy bills.
I'm going to go wait in the car.
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Dip it, dunk it, smother it. It's queso gone wild at Hothead Burritos. Try our new loaded potatoes covered in queso and topped off with hardwood smoked bacon, burritos, bowls, nachos, and more. Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some queso.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up?
What's up, man? What's up with you?
Sponsored by Apex Pros. The pros who knows.
Here's what's up on a Thursday edition of the program. The college football calendar has been the main sticking point for this show in what you can actually change that's meaningful in the sport without having to rely on anybody else, looking at you, the federal government. And with the NCAA Football Bowl Subdivision Oversight Committee, who met this week, I'm sure, at a no less than 5-star resort and just racking up those Marriott points. Good for them. We love a committee. We love a set of committees. We love conversations about conversations. We hope that these conversations don't keep kicking the can down the road, but we know we love that.
Right.
We know that they love that. And not actually solving things, but having conversations, tabling the conversations to continue to have
solving things isn't lucrative, by the way. Yeah. Right? Like if you solve the problem, the lawyers, the consultants, everybody stops getting paid. Now, if you keep mulling the problem over, that stimulates the economy.
Billable hours are undefeated. Should have been lawyers, but I am not intelligent enough. So when I see rule changes, or when I see discussions of rule changes, as was what was had this week, they are going to vote, or they at least have already voted on the 5 to play 5. It's going into effect in 2027. Some other proposed changes are out-of-season activities, adding practice periods, modified preseason practice periods, notifications of a transfer period. The portal would change from a 15 to a 10-day period beginning the first business day following January 1st. So that doesn't help anything because you're still, for a lot of these teams, playing football games and worrying about the transfer portal.
Yes.
And that's one thing we talked about on this show is this January transfer portal doesn't make sense. And when you modify these off-season activity windows where you could maybe say, hey, spring practice doesn't necessarily have to be spring practice. It can be early summer practice, and you can move it to June. It makes all the more sense to have a transfer portal window, end of March, beginning of April, something like that. The January one, there's just too much going on.
I don't know if this is trying to address any of the end of the year chaos, but until the national championship is played closer to December than it is to February. What are we doing with some of these changes? To the offseason point, this feels like NFL OTAs. I think it's a great idea. We're moving closer to professional sports. They already allow some on-field instruction by coaches during the summer. I think it's a good thing to be able to stretch that out. Helps players learn. It helps them build skills. You'll have better college football players because of it. The rest of this, I don't know what we're getting at here. Are we still playing a national championship on January 28th? That's a problem.
As of right now, yes. And does this all get thrown out December 1st when they expand the college football playoff?
Well, that's the other part.
If they expand the college football playoff.
Well, whenever they do, it's going to be another adjustment. I know we talked about what happens with conference championship games at that point. Still feels like a lot of rounds.
So I'm enthused that they're having. I'm enthused because you're trying, right? You can never stop. It's easy to be cynical. It's very easy in this to be cynical. So I'm trying at least to say, all right, they're having these discussions and they're trying to move forward to fix what almost feels like an unfixable thing, or a beast that you just can't tame.
Mm-hmm.
This is maybe a step to creating more of an NFL style, less spring ball, more early summer ball.
Sure.
So maybe there's an easier path forward for some of these coaches to have some time off because it's a 365-day-a-year thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I do know is that the news out of Arkansas yesterday is something that I think Ohio State fans need to ready themselves for. So I saw this first from Brett McMurphy, and then Arkansas Athletic Director Hunter Yurachek discussed it because this is a big deal where Arkansas's Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium will become Community America Razorback Stadium beginning with the 2027 football season as part of a naming rights deal with the school. And with what you've seen in the SEC, so this new stadium naming rights with jersey patches, they will trickle north.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, Joshua, when we start to have serious conversation about Safe Auto Field at Ohio Stadium.
Yeah.
Because you can't ever change the name Ohio. I don't think you can ever take away Ohio Stadium from the shoe. That look you're giving,
I mean,
does not instill confidence in what I just phrased.
So I'll say two things. Is number one, I think Ohio State has done as good of a job as anybody in sports of finding revenue streams and monetizing different things. So this is not like it has to happen immediately. But Arkansas, if you remember, tried to cut the tennis programs and then ended up getting shamed and brought them back. They're clearly in a spot where they're like, we're spending too much money for what we're making, so we have to do this thing. So if there ever comes a time where Ohio State feels like they're starting to get behind the eight ball when it comes to revenue, I think that there will be very uncomfortable conversations that will happen. Now, whether those things actually come to fruition, we don't know. The reason I say this is not just because of this. Ward Manuel put out a deal at Michigan, which don't know how that guy's still employed. That's neither here nor there. Where they started, they're basically saying we're investigating what jersey patch situations would look like in
stadium signage.
In stadium signage, where they are one of the few places in college football where you walk into that stadium and it feels old school because they don't have signage in there. And that's something that their fans take pride in. I've even had people up there say, we would dip into our endowment to make sure that we could balance our sports finances before we would do stadium signage, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But they feel very adamantly about that, and it's a conversation that's happening. So I don't like the idea of some of the historic parts of programs being sullied with the money, but this is a world where revenue is the number one thing.
So here's Arkansas Athletic Director Hunter Yurachek when he was asked about this yesterday.
Exciting day for our athletic program and our university to rename Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, and what an incredible partner that we have found in Community America Credit Union. It was important for them to plant their flag here in Northwest Arkansas and the state of Arkansas as they continue to build their presence in our state. It is a significant financial enhancement to our athletic department budget, and 76,000 seats here. Some of the competitors in the SEC, and they have over 100,000 seats, and so we have to make sure that we're using every every revenue stream that we can. It would be unbelievable if I told you the process to change out every single sign in this venue. You have to get cranes in here. It's about a 9 to 12 month process just to change the incredible amount of signage. It's a competitive advantage for us to hold those numbers internal. It was a very favorable financial agreement. There's a carve out for NIL. Obviously, NIL is very important to us, and I think it's important to Community America for the NIL aspect to start in the first year of the contract.
When he says it's a competitive advantage for us to hold those numbers in, I would say it's a competitive disadvantage, because I think more schools should do this. Tell us what you're playing with. Tell the fans what you're spending, because I don't think it should be something that you shy away from anymore.
That's an interesting take. I understand.
You mean you hate it?
No, I don't hate it. I understand both sides of that. I think that part of where people have started to feel some distrust is they don't know or understand the actual finances, right? And so you're like, why are we doing all of these things? Why are you taking this from me? Or why are you raising prices for this? Why does this look different, without having an understanding? I get that. The other part is like, I want to tell everybody my secrets. And especially, this is a problem with a lot of these guys. They feel like they're reinventing the wheel in a lot of ways, and they've got something different that nobody else has, and I can't give you the trade secrets because I'm gaining an edge, which I'm not necessarily sure is happening, but I get both sides.
The Ward Manual statement where it's like, this is an extraordinary exploratory step, and I'm like, my guy, you're doing the same thing everybody else is.
Yeah, well.
So I do think maybe in some respects, like if you're paying $45 million for a roster and everybody else is paying 30, if everybody knows you are, chances are they already know, though, that you're paying that. And Reese, I'm as traditionalist as it is, I'm okay with all of this. Like, nationwide Ohio Stadium doesn't change anything for me, and I'm all for them selling whatever they can as long as they're not asking us, the fans, for more money. So I'm all for stuff like this. The one thing I didn't think, though, and this is always the way it is, when you get money, it costs money. I didn't think about changing out signage as it is, and I just thought a lot of it, was just digital. It's real easy to switch. Not everybody has switched to all that stuff. And so it is like, you do this, it is going to cost money to change these things, though.
Jeremiah chimes in at 971 BFS. Ohio State already sold the name of the field to Safe Flight Field a few years ago. Yes, but this is a step. What I'm saying is probably going to happen is a step further.
Right.
Then you acknowledge it every time at Safe Flight Field at Ohio Stadium.
And to that point, what Bake just said, like, nationwide
Ohio field at Ohio Stadium.
Like
yes.
that to me.
Yes.
That's where I feel like I got to draw the line a little bit. Like, do whatever you want with the Safe Flight Field. I really don't care. Ohio Stadium feels like that's its thing, right? It stands on its own. And then if you got to say the sponsor's name with it,
that's the thing. That's the next step in this.
It's interesting we say that, and I get the history at the shoe, but it's been the Jerome Schottenstein Center at Value City Arena forever.
That place is soulless. So.
I get it, but I'm just saying.
It's a soulless building.
Saying.
Two very different conversations.
Concerts.
One's a place that people love and love to go to. The other's a place that only brings up anger.
Yeah.
You're still gonna love it if it's a nationwide Ohio Stadium.
Yes, I will, but I don't want to get myself there, I guess is the point.
And the thing about
I agree.
The shot is you're never going to bring anybody to your side. People already feel how they feel. We've been doing this for 25 years.
Yes.
The building is the building. The product you can put on the court, that can be changed. And some things yesterday with what Jake Diebler is doing that have me enthused about this upcoming season, we'll discuss next. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and summer's here, and it's time to upgrade your ride at Germain Toyota. Whether you're heading to the lake, the ballpark, or your next family road trip, the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra is built for every adventure. Right now, get 0% APR financing for up to 60 months on the 2026 Tundra with vehicles sold at MSRP. That's legendary Toyota quality, power, and capability with an incredible summer offer. Visit Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota, your summer starts here. See dealer for details.
Get an Eco.
ECO. Hey, Aaron, happy Father's Day month.
You know what, Jerry? I grew up with a single mom, so it's always been important to me to be the best dad I could be.
You install air conditioners in people's homes, Aaron. That literally makes you the cool dad. Get it?
Get Eco.
ECO. Did you just call a guy with an HVAC company a cool dad? That really is a dad joke.
Get Eco.
ECO.
A cool dad like you can install a new air conditioner that makes the whole family cool.
Well, a really cool dad would repair the air conditioner they have.
And leave more money for Father's Day presents.
With our AC Repair Buyback program, we'll even credit you any money you spend on the repairs against the purchase of a new system, if you change your mind and replace it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Hypothetically, Aaron, what does a guy like yourself look for in a necktie?
I don't wear ties, Jerry, and I'm certainly not your dad.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and cool dad HVAC technicians. GetEco.com.
Everything you need to know about the Buckeyes is on, wait for it, The Buckeye Show, led by the Beamer.
I'm not going to lie to you. Getting ready now for Jeremiah Smith, you're already too late.
And featuring Austin Ward.
The reason that the weather was perfect for Texas at Ohio State is because it was played in the San Diego of the Midwest.
It's the Buckeye Show, weeknights at 6. And tell your smart speaker to play 97.1 The Fan, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more, getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Guess which store is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and you'll get up to $180 off sets of Goodyear tires.
Oh, is it the one with the annoying jingle?
Hey, it's Bo Bishop here. If you've been thinking about an RV, now is the time at RCD RV. They've got over 850 RVs in stock. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers from trusted brands like Cougar, Georgetown, Springdale, Forest River, and Salem. Trade values are sky high right now, and every RV purchase from RCD RV comes with a $500 ODNR gift card for your next Ohio State Park getaway. This limited time event ends June 27th, so don't wait. Visit RCD RV or shop now at rcdrv.com.
Hey, Columbus, buy a new Ford at the same price of Ford employee pays. No markup, no haggling. Right now, Capital Ford of Columbus, get employee pricing on F-150s, Super Duties, Explorers, Mustangs, and more. Thousands in savings. This deal ends soon. Come to Capital Ford today, priced for you.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, we'll chat with former Buckeye Ryan Armour as he gets set to come back to town for next week's Senior Open, plus First Calls, Gary Van Sickle.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick, Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Keep your friends close and your producers closer. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. Eric Reeser, Ryan Baker, Joshua Perry with you on this Thursday. JP's going to be in with us tomorrow as well. Send your thoughts, and maybe, if you're into that, send your prayers to Bo Bishop. He's got youth sports in Virginia, of all places, this weekend. So,
what are they playing? Lax?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say send your emails, because emails are coming up at 10 o'clock.
So we'll do the mailbag at 10 o'clock. This is the most excited I've ever been for a mailbag. I can't tell you, though, where to send the emails, but our listeners have done a great job of circumventing our contractual obligations and finding our mailbag. We can't tell you where, but you've done a really good job. Also, a great job out of the YouTube chat in our discussion about Arkansas and how it's not going to be Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium in 2027. It's going to be Community America Razorback Stadium, and likely something similar coming to Ohio State. The Red Bull, Ohio Stadium. Nike, Ohio Stadium. Good job out of Turkey Bass. Jeff Rimmer's middle half, Big Lots, Ohio Stadium.
Yeah.
He also says sponsor every bathroom stall. I think most Ohio State fans would rather you just do every bathroom stall gets a sponsorship than the stadium itself.
Yeah. I mean,
some I can't
what
read.
Can you sell?
Maybe if you get a bathroom
Some you
sponsor,
cannot read.
you can fix the bathroom.
You can sell everything.
Oh, man.
Bet365 Stadium Jail.
Have OnlyFans Stadium after a while.
Look, we could, if radio station ever, got some money, we could throw some coin there, and this could be sponsored by 97.1 The Fan. Wide ass seats, sponsored by The Fan.
There you go.
Right over the loge boxes in the south end zone. According to great friend of the program, Tim May, Ross Bjork's set to speak here in the next hour. I think he's going to do his, it's not biannual, but every year before the football season, this a little bit earlier than he did last year, try to throwing out ideas on what Ohio State is doing and what they're going to try to do to create revenue.
Mm-hmm.
It's the name of the game. All of these athletic directors, all of these conference commissioners, like as much as Pat Forty would like to tell you there's a difference between Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey, I would tell you there's not.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And by the way, I think it's a good thing that Ross is doing this instead of like Jeff Brom the other day was sitting there answering questions about Louisville's deficit in their athletic programs. And he's like, I'm a coach.
Jeff Brom, the football coach.
Yes. And so the idea that Ross is like, let me just talk about this so my people can focus on the things they're supposed to focus on, which is coaching their sport. I think it's wise.
I mean, that's the job nowadays has become for these coaches more about fundraising and roster management, less X's and O's.
Right.
And so I think that's what Ryan Day has done an exceptional job with, is of one, understanding that that's where this was going to go, embracing it, however begrudgingly so that was, and creating an Ohio State infrastructure that is why Ohio State's so successful in every facet.
No doubt.
We also had some breaking news in the National Basketball Association. So last night it was awesome to see Bruce Thornton go with the first pick in the second round. But this morning, Shams Charania, ESPN's NBA newsbreaker, who I think was probably muzzled as he was not spoiling picks in the NBA draft.
Definitely told him. So I worked with him at Stadium. This is a quick aside.
Sure.
And Stadium would do a Twitter stream and like a live stream on their app of a studio show during the draft. And the sole purpose of that show was for Shams to be as many picks ahead of the ESPN broadcast as possible. And so 100% they were like, shut your ass up and wait for them to go up to the podium and announce these picks before you say anything about it.
It's just, it flies in the face of what he's asked to do 363 days out of the year.
Spoil MVP announcements, do anything. But when it comes to our draft, you better not.
I wonder how long you have to tell these guys, to wait to say the pick, because you have so many different platforms now, and however they're watching, whether you're watching that draft on the ESPN app or you're streaming through something else, like some things come in at different times. Like that's one of the things I hate having Twitter on when I watch a game, because, if hypothetically somebody had a box where they got all of their TV
hypothetically, nobody's breaking laws here.
Sometimes that delay is a little longer, so if you're on Twitter, it can spoil a lot of things for you.
The worst people in terms of the spoilers, and I get why they do it, so I'm not saying they're bad people, but in spoilers they are people who are in person covering the games that tweet out the outcomes of there's a fumble, there's a touchdown, whatever the case is. You're so far ahead of everybody. You're far ahead of people who are watching the regular TV. You're far ahead of the streamers. You're far ahead of the alleged illegal streamers. Like, those people spoil everything.
Well, this isn't spoiled. This is breaking. Drivers in North Carolina's Queen City can breathe a sigh of relief as the Charlotte Hornets have sent LaMelo Ball and Josh Green to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first-round pick, 3 first-round pick swaps in 28, 29, and 30, and 3 second-round picks in 29, 32, and 33. I was thinking about this last night watching the second round of the NBA draft, and, none of these picks matter outside of the top 10 in the lottery. They're all just fun coupons.
Yeah, but, how do you figure out exactly which ones to throw into the deal? Like, If one of those picks was missing, would the deal have been rejected? Right? Like, that's the crazy part to me.
The 2033 second round pick.
Yes.
Was that the deal breaker?
That was the one that had to be in there for this thing to go through.
The Cleveland Browns are looking at this so angry that they can't trade 30s draft picks like their monopoly money.
Seriously.
Because are any of these picks going to be used by the Hornets on players?
No, those picks are going to be used in other trades.
This is, again, we talked about this the other day. This is the NBA telling us that draft picks do not matter.
They don't.
This from Tony in the YouTube chat. Ross is holding a shareholders meeting this morning. That's kind of what it is. Yeah. He's the athletic director, but he is really the CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
Wild to think about.
And everybody involved, everybody listening, everybody watching it on the YouTube chat, you are either a shareholder or you are being asked to invest constantly.
You talked about Pat Forty's comments that we played yesterday on Tony Petitti, and as much as we hate it, that's what Tony Petitti's job now is, to make money.
Joshua, did you hear what Pat Forty had to say?
I saw an excerpt from it
where the job of Tony Petitti, I think Pat Forty might have been on Indiana's campus, which is why he brought it up. He's like looking around this beautiful campus at Indiana and saying, why isn't there a Jimmy John's billboard here?
Mm-hmm.
As if that's a bad thing. Well, that's how you find money.
Right.
You find places to put advertisements that aren't offensive. This is, for me, Joshua, the most excited I've ever been for the mailbag. We will open it next. Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hey, it's Common Man. Everybody's talking about affordability these days, but the good news is you'll find hundreds of vehicles that fit your budget at GoGermain.com. Drive home in a new sedan starting at just $139 a month. New SUVs from only $189 a month, or a truck for as low as $329. Plus, choose from over 1,700 new and pre-owned vehicles, all priced under $30K, and it's only at GoGermain.com. And with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Go see my friends today. GoGermain.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Not everybody's cut out for this kind of work. At Newman Roofing, we look for people who care about the details. The kind of people who show up early, work hard, and take real pride in what they build. Because to us, your home isn't just another job site or paycheck, it's your peace of mind. That's why our crews aren't just trained, they're invested. In their craftsmanship, in their communication, in their customers. At Newman Roofing, we don't believe in cutting corners to save a buck. We believe in doing the work the right way. With quality materials, experienced professionals, and a level of care you can actually feel. It's the reason so many of our customers come back to us time and time again. And they recommend us to the people they love the most. Roofing, siding, gutters, whatever your home needs, trust the company built on family values and hard work. Newman Roofing. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
I'm Jeff Hogan. I've been a journalist at 10 TV for more than 20 years. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to speak up, or lend a hand. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
How many of you have had your garage floor done? I'll wait for the answer. Yeah. Okay, that's enough. How many of you think it looks like crap? That's because it is crap. One quick call to Comer & Cross Concrete Floor Coatings at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, and they can install a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor in one day. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard. It's like pulling into a new car showroom every night. And here's the best part. It is guaranteed your garage floor will never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And listen, you lazy bum, they'll even take the stuff out of the garage for you. They're all certified uniform pros. No subcontractors at Comer & Cross. This is a premier product with premier results, and they hired a premier endorser to tell you about it. For your quick and easy Comer & Cross garage floor quote, call 1-800-NEW-FLOOR now. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR, or go to comercross.com, C-O-M-E-R cross.com.
This is Gordon Miller for Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. As a third-generation family-owned business, I learned early on the importance of relationships and always looking out for the best interest of the consumer. So back in 1987, I witnessed firsthand how closing costs worked and did not like what I saw. Averaging upwards of $15,000, the cost of refinancing was so high, it prevented borrowers from lowering their payment, while the cash to close on a purchase was doubled. That's insane. So 39 years ago, I developed a loan option without any cost at all. Instead of using your money, we used the lender's money. The result? A zero closing cost mortgage. Fast forward to today, and we've now saved consumers over $500 million in needless fees. So before you hand your money over to your lender, call Miller Lending and see why a no-cost loan is right for you. 877-9-NO-COST, or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. Bruce Thornton's headed to Houston. The Rockets acquired the four-time Ohio State captain with the first pick last night in the second round of the NBA draft. Thornton joins a roster headlined by Kevin Durant. With the fourth pick in the second round, the Cavaliers snagged Arkansas guard Malik Thomas, who Jacob Reimer tells me is a very good pick. This morning, the Hornets sent LaMelo Ball and Josh Green to the Timberwolves for Naz Reid and a bunch of first-round picks, pick swaps, and second-round picks. The NHL draft is tomorrow in Buffalo. The Maple Leafs have the number one pick there. Blue Jackets pick at 14. We'll have live NHL draft coverage on The Fan tomorrow night at 7. The U.S. men's national team's already on to the knockout round in the World Cup. They'll wrap up group play tonight at 10, playing Turkey at SoFi Stadium in L.A. And in baseball Wednesday, Guardians beat the White Sox. Reds fell to the Brewers, both teams off Thursday. This update sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling, together to serve you better. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.net.
They've all been paid by the Cleveland Browns. This is Bishop and Friends.
That's not necessarily accurate today. Eric Reeser, Ryan Baker, yes, have cashed paychecks from Cleveland. Joshua Perry, I do not believe you have been paid by the Browns.
I have not.
Yet.
But see, he should in a roundabout way because Tyvus owes him money from Tyvus's 40-yard dash bet, and that money could have came from the Browns. So in a money laundering wired type way, maybe Joshua should be getting paid.
Did you hear how he tried to get out of paying that?
I heard it all.
Did he throw up his child?
He doubled the bet, and then
he was like, "Well, no, you said that you bet me that I couldn't run the thing, but I never said that I would give you $1,000 if I didn't." That's dumb. That's literally how do bets work.
And then his wife had to come to his rescue. We got diapers now to buy.
I love her to death.
Before we get to the most anticipated mailbag of all time, Joshua, you are in with Tyvus next week, the 1st and the 2nd of July.
I am.
Without a guide.
Without a guide, unless you think Dylan is, which
no, Dylan is not.
I wouldn't classify him.
Definitely
either.
Without a guide.
So this will be an interesting one because it'll be a lot of us yelling at or talking over one another and trying to avoid dropping F-bombs.
Yeah.
It will be a miracle if either one of us are employable at all after that's done.
I had wondered with the two of you sitting in here and Dylan in there, because he'll be near the dump button, but he'll have to be on that thing like a hawk because there is no delay in here. So you cannot dump yourself. The producer's got to do it. So this is interesting. This is Dylan next week actually earning, or absolutely earning, that paycheck. So we teased this all morning, and actually before that. So he owes you $1,000?
It's $1,000. So I said $500. You can't run your combine time. He goes, make it 1,000.
Oh,
so he doubled the bet and then says he doesn't have to pay.
All right, we'll have to get into more of this. That
Fish
is insane.
You tell HR and accounting to send $1,000 of his check to my bank account.
I was about to say, like, payroll's tomorrow. Payroll's already been due. We get paid, I hope, tomorrow. So reroute that.
I mean,
man's got to stick to it. If we don't have a word, we have nothing. And now a word from you, the listeners.
Our comment box is always open. Any feedback is mostly appreciated.
The mail never stops. It just keeps coming and coming and coming. There's never a let up. It's relentless. Every day it piles up more and more and more. And you got to get it up. And the more you get out, the more it keeps coming in. Again.
Bishop and Friends present Emails.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale. Visit windownation.com now.
And I'd like to think the email segment we do is the only one on this station at any radio station in the country. We're the only one that reads your emails. So you're welcome.
We could tell that lie.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
Exactly.
This from Mike, Bo, and friends. I added the friends. Keep up the great work. FYI, I understand the USGA approached the UA Civic Association and asked that the 4th of July parade date be moved because it was interfering with the U.S. Senior Open. Yes, UA politely declined, but it gives you an idea of how the USGA operates. Thought Eric would enjoy this info. Boy, do I. So the Senior Open's in town next week.
Yes.
The UA 4th of July parade is, in my opinion, one of the greatest non-sporting event things in Central Ohio.
Oh, wow.
It is something I'm at every year. My chair's already out on Northwest Boulevard. You touch my chair, I touch you. If you ever do the drive up or down Northwest Boulevard this time of the year, there's many people that have blocked off spots, that have put chairs down maybe a month in advance.
Oh, wow.
Of the 4th of July parade. So if you ever find yourself in need of something to do, Northwest Boulevard's a fun spot on the 4th. But if there's no way, I've not independently verified this because I want to live in the world where that actually happened, where the USGA went to the Civic Association and said, we need you to move your parade that you've been planning for months so that we can have more eyes and more feet in our golf course. I guess it's Scioto Country Club's in Upper Arlington.
Sure.
So I can understand where they would think maybe if we just, you already have the no, you go in and make the ask.
So that's interesting. I never thought about that. And I wonder if it's maybe not even an eyeballs thing, if it's more of a parking
that area
issue and whatnot.
South of Lane's going to be a mess.
That's going to be a lot with the parade and 4th of July festivities and the tournament there in town.
I just feel like it's one of those things where you give and you take, right? Like you want to bring certain events to town. There's probably a little bit of changing of the operation maybe that you might have to do. Now, for you, this seems like it's a huge deal. So I don't know where to fall on that one.
I just love the idea that USGA said, hey, you got to move this thing. And they said, kick rocks. That's where I come from.
So we're going to have
go UACA. That bear's going to get turned and going to turn people away from your event.
All right.
I just hope that this does not keep us from having golfing events at Scioto in the future, because I think that's awesome that it's coming here. I wish we had more of that at Scioto.
It's a give and take.
I'm unconcerned. This from Ryan. With Coach Tressel's recent induction into the Ring of Honor, I have a few questions. It took nearly 15 years for them to induct him into the ring. How long do you think before Urban Meyer gets his shot? Joshua, I pose that to you.
It's an interesting question. I think the part of the Tressel story is that the university had to distance for a bit and then they could come back together, right? He resigned in what was at the time scandal. Nowadays, we look at it and say that's the stupidest thing in the world. But at the time, I mean, this was front page news. It was Sports Illustrated, right? Like this was a big story. And so there was that distance. they have now obviously come back together very beautifully. So for Urban, a guy who, when he retired, they hired him immediately in some, I love Urban, made-up role in the athletic department. I don't know if it'll take nearly as long because there wasn't that part of the how do we manage this relationship with somebody who's mired in controversy versus Urban, who they just hired right away back at the university.
I will tell you, it shouldn't have taken as long for Tress, and I hope it doesn't take. I hope Urban's on the docket for next year. I hope we're opening next season in the first game at the Shoe, or I don't know. Maybe we could save Urban, and I trusted too. But maybe we could save Urban for a Michigan game, just to have him dig them one more time. Ooh. I think I like that a little better.
You either got to do it the induction first or last. So if Urban, if that plan, and I love that plan, you got to make sure the Michigan game's still the last game you play on your calendar.
Yeah.
This from William. I don't know if there's any relation here, but he asks Joshua. I love summer and being outdoors, but I have wide hips. I feel like all khaki dress shorts are cut too tight and end up riding where the sun don't shine. I was wondering if Joshua also has this problem and if there are any good brands or of shorts you would recommend for this issue.
See, I'm not as hippie necessarily. I'm a little more assy. So that would be my response to that. I wear Ralph Lauren shorts. They've got a nice, the classic fit. Has got some room to it. It's the problem with all the new age stuff. Everybody wants to be slim fit. Some people aren't meant to be slim fit, and I'm coming back around to a little bit more room in the trousers these days. So that would be a good place to start. Some local folks here that also will make some for you if you got a little extra cash floating out the wallet. So those would be my suggestions.
So I've, as a
You're a husky boy.
Thicker, wider guy. I've never liked the slim fit trend that we've had. I think it's awful. I think it's terrible. There were some shorts. I don't know, what is it? Like Falls Creek, Meyer will sell them. That they were amazing, and they don't sell those shorts anymore. So you'll still see me hanging on to a couple of pairs of those. One even think I has a little hole on the backside, but I'm still wearing it because they were awesome. I actually have these shorts on today. I think they're Hurley brand that Sam's Club has been selling, that they're pretty nice. I don't seem to have that problem of the shorts riding up. So I think a lot of times, too, your what you have on underneath your shorts can be a problem with that as well. So I think you got to find some quality undergarments as well to have on there in the summer.
Makes a difference, I will say.
Does Costco, are they in the garment business?
They got everything.
You can get everything there.
Everything.
This from Brian, and this references the naming rights for Ohio Stadium discussion that we had earlier in the program. The Ohio Stadium naming rights debate is easy. Form a collective of advertisers, call it the Shoe, and maintain that as stadium rights in perpetuity. Advertisers get tied to the collective, and people can shop the Shoe partners since the Shoe has its own branding.
Say that again. So it would be a group of people
that companies
come together.
They are collective.
They give Ohio State money so they don't change the name.
They call it the Shoe.
And then how do we advertise that these people are doing it so we can direct the people to their businesses?
Well, from what I understand, and I'll just read this. Advertisers get tied into the collective. People can shop the Shoe partners. Since the Shoe and the Shoe is one of the more iconic names in stadiums in sport.
Right. So you make an announcement that you're not changing the name, and then that's the only time that we understand the group of people behind this.
Probably stadium advertisements.
I think it might be. I'm here for this idea. I think it might be easier to just ask a bunch of rich people, will you put money into this fund, basically an endowment, to ensure that this never changes?
And you've got to be careful, very careful, if you're Ohio State, with the rich people that you ask. We will continue with the mailbag coming up next. It's Bishop and Friends on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Welcome back to That Lux Life. It's your boy, Will Winmore. Today's guest, the Millionaire Ball from the new Ohio Lottery Daily Draw Game, Millionaire for Life.
Hey-o!
Hey-o! So if a player matches 5 numbers and the millionaire ball number, they win $1 million a year for life.
Hey-o!
Or $100,000 a year for life if they match just 5.
Hey-o!
Millionaire for life is the game. Millionaire Ball is his name. Play Ohio's newest daily draw game for your chance to win for life. Players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Summertime's here, and that means it's the best time to upgrade. Why? Because you're running that AC in the house. If your windows are leaky and drafty, then all that good, expensive air that you're creating in there is cooling the outside. Right now, you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free. And the more windows you replace, the more you save. Plus, 48 months of 0% interest financing, same as cash. That's 4 full years to pay with no interest. 614-502-5220. UniversalWindowsDirect.com.
Experience the adrenaline of Barrett Jackson in Columbus, June 25th to 27th at the Ohio Expo Center and State Fairgrounds. See hundreds of no-reserve collector cars cross the auction block and sell to the highest bidder. Take in the lively exhibitor marketplace. Engage with interactive sponsored displays and enjoy a wide selection of food and drink options. It's an exciting, high-octane event for fans of all ages. Advance tickets on sale now for the world's greatest collector car auctions at barrett-jackson.com.
Dip it, dunk it, smother it. It's queso gone wild at Hothead Burritos. Try our new loaded potatoes covered in queso and topped off with hardwood smoked bacon, burritos, bowls, nachos, and more. Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some queso.
Common Man and Timmy. Voted America's dumbest show by Marconi voters. Common Man is a Columbus radio legend. And by legend, I mean it's a miracle he hasn't been fired yet. And Timmy is, well, Timmy will complain about anything and everything. And he kind of looks like a woman. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So there's that. Common Man and Timmy.
Sponsored by Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. At Germain Toyota of Columbus, it's all about you, your drive, your style, and your budget. Stop in and see Marcello. He'll get you rolling. Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or check them out online at germaintoyota.net.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing. First up, we've got Harrison wrapping his Dr. Pepper in a tiny quilt so it feels at home. Oh, how tender. That's a pepper thing. And over to Becca, who's whispering affirmations to her can.
You're sweet. You're unique. You're the best thing I ever poured over ice.
She swears it makes it taste better. It's not a science thing, but it's a pepper thing. Why do they all do it? All for that sweet, delicious, truly one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a pepper thing.
Getting a speeding ticket can ruin your day. But what about that cyclist? Or the pedestrian crossing the street? If you hit them while speeding, you'll do more than just ruin their days. That's why tickets are more than just a fine. They're a second chance. A reminder of what's on the line when you're behind the wheel. You won't get a do-over every time. So take this as your sign to follow the speed limit every drive. Speeding slows you down. Paid for by NHTSA.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
Common Man and Timmy.
I get a message from you. I ate all my steak. Good for you.
You did not get it.
You got it all in the potty.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny to partly sunny skies today with our temperatures getting into the mid to low 80s, and there will be a chance of showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon and early evening. That could linger overnight, otherwise mostly cloudy with lows down into the 60s. And then for Friday, we will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms develop. Otherwise, expect mostly to partly cloudy skies with highs near 80 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Miss a little, miss a lot. Catch Bishop and Friends wherever you get your podcasts. It's free.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The Fan. Sports conversation that's worthy of a toast, or at least a stiff drink. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. Eric Reeser, Ryan Baker, Joshua Perry with you on this Thursday. We'll talk with Paul Finebaum here in about 12 minutes. A great friend of the program, Tim May, will join us in his Friday 10:30 spot. Tim May is down on Ohio State's campus right now as athletic director Ross Bjork's talking to the local media, and I see this from Adam Jody, and we'll get thoughts from Paul, thoughts from Tim. Today, Paul, tomorrow, Tim, about what's being said from Ross Bjork. Quote, "We will be the first program to have a $500 million budget," end quote. And I saw that from Adam Jody. And I wondered, Joshua, how many other athletic directors can say that? And how many other athletic directors are going to see those comments and be like, how can we compete with that?
It's a hell of a question. First question is when, right? We're going to be when is the first question. But to your point, it feels like that's a mark that some schools are just never going to be able to get to. Like there's just not enough revenue to generate. And then for some of the big programs, like that's a huge stretch. And when you and I were talking in the break, one of the things that has become more and more evident, and I said this when NIL became real, and I will continue to say it, is there are some schools that have their $1 billion booster, the one guy with all the money, Cody Campbell's of the world, the Ellison guy up there at Michigan. There are other places that are structurally better built for this world. Austin, Texas is one of them. University of Texas. People want to live there. They want to work there. Columbus, Ohio was always set up for this because people want to live here. People want to work here. A lot of alumni are here. You've got companies that you can activate with. And it's just an interesting thing where I think structurally some college towns just not built for it.
And I thought it was, and I still think it's ambitious. And Jeff Rimmer's middle half in the YouTube chat brings up the point that no other school has 36 varsity sports to fund. And I thought it was ambitious that Ross and then Ted Carter at the time, now the Ohio State's new president, have all been on board with we are going to keep all 36 sports. It requires a budget north of $400 million.
Yeah.
Like that's sticker shock. But when you realize everything that Ohio State spends and needs to spend to maintain their place atop the college athletics landscape, they have ambitious goals. This is an ambitious budget. $500 million looks like a lot, but that's going to go pretty quickly with all the mouths that they need to feed.
And I think when you think about that, too, in those terms, you talk about the $20.5 million that the university is paying.
The rev share.
Is paying the revenue sharing. So they're paying that to football, men's and women's basketball, and I believe women's volleyball. Those are the four programs that Ohio State has decided they are divvying that $20.5 million up. That's $20.5 million that probably helped fund men's volleyball or rowing or swimming or fencing or one of those things. So Ohio State wants to keep all of those. All of a sudden, now they need to find $20.5 million to fund those programs that whatever, I don't know how many sports, if it's one sport, two sport, three sport, however, they just have to find that money now to,
I'll tell you, it's a hell of a conundrum because there are people like me who really see the value in having 36 varsity sports. And part of the reason why is because I got to know many athletes from many different sports while I was an athlete at Ohio State. And I saw what that did for their college experience. I also see what that did for them as they entered the workforce, as adults do. Instead of staying in college for 8 years, they enter the workforce, and how that impacted their life. And I feel like part of the reconciliation we're having now is, in a perfect world, collegiate athletics aren't a business. It's not about generating revenue and how much money you can take home at the end of the year. It's about providing a competitive environment for young people, which is ultimately an experience that helps them in life. Now we're in a world where the revenue is the number one thing. I still don't want to forget about that idea of what we're doing for athletes, the opportunities we're creating for some people to go to school who would have never gone to school, the opportunity that we are creating to build Olympians, right? Every 4 years, I hear all the time, nobody really cares about those sports. Well, you in your American flag t-shirt do every 4 years. You love those sports. And we're missing those opportunities when we say that we want to cut athletic departments. So I don't want to miss that point of it.
You just brought up a great thing that the women's hockey tournament at the Olympics this year was littered with Ohio State athletes, former or current. I think there were 12 on different teams. And you talked about Columbus, Ohio being set up for this. Part of the reason Columbus, Ohio is set up for this is because of Ohio State University.
Yes.
And you mentioned those 36 sports. You have people coming to Ohio State that maybe wouldn't be because they offer so many of these programs. Well, so many companies have come and built here because they have a pool of graduates every year from Ohio State they can choose from. So every little thing where you go one way cuts off something on the back end, too.
It's complicated.
And we'll get Paul Finebaum's thoughts on this coming up here in about 6 minutes. I did want to wrap up the mailbag here real quick because I had a really interesting question came our way from Scott. He says, hello, gentlemen. I have a very odd question. At 53 years of age, I have a period of life that's missing. This isn't due to some strange oddity or anything. I was simply serving in the U.S. Navy for 6 years between 92 and 98. This is from Eric. Thank you for your service, Scott. Directly afterwards, it was kids and all that goes with life, so I missed movies, TV, and everything, and I'm constantly the butt of jokes because I didn't see this movie or that show. Says, I don't have all the time in the world to catch up, but if there were suggestions you would offer, I'd take them and be appreciative. Scott, we appreciate you not only for your listening, not only for sending the email in, but for your service. I'm sure your kids are appreciative for everything that you were able to provide them. I would say go find The Sopranos and watch it.
Yeah, it's a good place to start. Anything that has Denzel Washington in it, I would suggest.
Yeah.
American Gangster, phenomenal movie. Love The Equalizer. John Q, one of my favorites.
John Q's really good.
Flight, great movie.
Yeah.
Go check him out.
And we were robbed of many more of these, but I would say go find The Genius of Chris Farley and watch Tommy Boy and Black Sheep and all of those if you haven't, and catch up on some mid-90s Saturday Night Live, because I know a lot of people will say like the 80s were the best, but I grew up in the 90s, and I think early to mid-90s Saturday Night Live with Chris Farley and Adam Sandler and Will Ferrell and all of those guys was the best ever.
I'll add, because we're closing in on the 4th of July, Independence Day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend any of the there are 2 sequels? Anyway, just the first Independence Day is the movie that you do need to see.
Also, go back and watch, maybe not the Michigan games, but go back and watch some 98 Ohio State and 96 Ohio State and 94. Those were some of the best Ohio State teams.
You guys were talking about some of those teams yesterday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we from The Athletic had the article about best teams of the 90s, 95 Nebraska being the best, and then 14 others that were trying. And I think 96 Ohio State was on there.
As I've looked into this, Reese, I think the 96 Ohio State football team is that Sean Springs slip away from maybe being the greatest Ohio State team of all time.
From a talent standpoint, your argument's solid. One of my first formative, I cannot believe that happened, was 98 Ohio State, Michigan State. So knowing what happened after that game with the Buckeyes and knowing how the national championship shook out, first year of the BCS, that Ohio State would have absolutely won that. And that Michigan State team was, while they had legends like Plexico Burress, obviously Nick Saban was the head coach there, absolute dog turd. The fact that Ohio State lost to that team still kind of hurts to this day, actually.
As we talked yesterday, the fact that you were up 24-7 in that game, too, hurts. But we know, we can say, I guess, and I think Ohio State was the best team in the country in 1998, and I think they would have won that national championship. We know Ohio State would have won the national championship in 96 because they went on and beat number 2 Arizona State in the Rose Bowl. And there was no other game then. They would have been going to the Rose Bowl regardless. So we know Ohio State would have been the national champ then.
That 96 defense?
Oh, baby.
Just the talent, right?
Oh, baby. I mean, you can say that Sean Springs and Antoine Winfield are the 2 best cornerbacks that ever played at Ohio State, and they were on that team.
Yeah, buddy. This is insane.
We got
some of the names.
This in the mailbag from SS. He says, don't forget about the best ever, Keith Jackson. So we were doing the nostalgia trip all week long. Like, the nostalgia is one of the most potent drugs out there. And, yeah, like the announcers that we got in the 90s and the early 2000s, just unmatched. Why we romanticize so much about the 90s because it was our formative years, but
how are people going to romanticize a guy like Gus Johnson one day?
I guarantee you I'm not, because I never have.
I'm so intrigued by how people will speak about him when he leaves the business.
I have such great appreciation for Gus that I think he will, and I hope he goes down as one of the best to ever do it because he did it so well in football and basketball. But the shtick is running its course with me.
It is hard not to be worn out because Ohio State basically every
carries
noon game.
The damn big noon.
Right. So it's a lot of him, but there's nobody who will make a mundane regular play feel more exciting at times than him.
Hurt my feelings.
Phenomenal.
We'll get Paul Finebaum coming up in 2 minutes. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
It's Leslie again from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, we've kind of got a big announcement. We're doing a special sale right now where qualifying installs are 40% off.
Well, we're doing that at the other window place, too.
Ah, that's an interesting coin.
April Fools.
April Fool's Day was a while back, Wilson.
Leslie, it's April 1st somewhere.
Is it?
Agree and disagree.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Now at Kroger, your points add up to more ways to save every trip. Use them your way to take dollars off groceries at checkout or save at the pump. You can even save up to $35 on your next fill up. Same points, more choices. And with low prices on fresh quality food, plus digital and personalized offers tailored to how you shop, your dollar goes further. Redeem your points online or in the app. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site or store for details.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
This 4th of July week, Championship Golf takes center stage in Columbus. From July 2nd through 5th, the 46th U.S. Senior Open Championship comes to Scioto Country Club, where legends of the game meet hallowed grounds that don't play favorites. Feel the energy, the tradition, and the pressure of championship golf at its finest. Be there for every moment. Tickets are available now on SeatGeek.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Bishop and Friends present college football's most polarizing figure.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Come on back to our show, Tim. The audience hates you.
This is ESPN's Paul Finebaum, sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
And he joins us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline every Thursday at this time. Eric Reeser, Joshua Perry, Ryan Baker with you, and Paul Finebaum, our guest. Paul, Ross Bjork is giving sort of a state of the state address up here in Columbus, and one of the quotes that's come out of that is that Ohio State will be the first athletic department to have a $500 million budget. When you hear that, is there any other program that comes to your mind that could match that? And is that kind of one of the reasons why Hunter Yurachek sold the naming rights to Arkansas Stadium?
Yeah, I think right now Ohio State is a standalone program. Texas could conceivably be in that league because of all the money that flows in there, but it's unlikely. I mean, we are clearly in the middle of an arms race that has gone from diabolical to out of this world. And I mean, I give Ross Bjork credit. I've known him a long time from his days at Ole Miss and later at Texas A&M. And he's done a terrific job of really continuing on that legacy. And that number is absolutely staggering.
On top of the arms race, we have structural changes that are coming with the sport as well. We got the announcement of the 5 to play 5 being official there. What are your overall thoughts? And there's a challenge going on right now. I think 18 college athletes trying to get that extra year from the 2022 class. Do you think this will stand?
I do think it will stand, and I think it's time for us to move out of this COVID era where there simply were no rules. And I understand the philosophy behind it. We were all there 6 years ago. But we're not in that place anymore, and we really have to get away from going judge shopping on every corner, trying to get your 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th year of eligibility. I mean, I'm in the SEC. We're Trinidad Chambliss. I don't know. I've lost track of how many years he played college football. You had Pavia playing 7 or 8. The quarterback at Tennessee, Aguilar, was denied. But this was an unusually smart move overall by the NCAA, and I really do believe it will hold up.
Paul, we started off talking about Arkansas and the naming rights and finding money anywhere we can. You had Pat Forty on your program earlier this week, and we played some of that from him talking about Tony Petitti, and he talked about Greg Sankey still caring about the sanctity of college sports, and Petitti will sell anything. And while I agree with Forty in his sentiments on that, aren't we kind of unfortunately past the sanctity of college sports? And isn't Tony Petitti, as much as we hate it, doing what his job is now and raising as much money as possible?
That is correct. And I appreciated what Forty said, but that's like somebody in our world saying, listen, I just want to do a radio show. I don't care about this AI stuff. You can't fight the wind of change in society and in business, and that's where we are. I think Forty's point was a good one, though. At least Greg Sankey gives the impression or the appearance that he has some respect for the game and how we got here. Petitti, because I think he has possibly the worst public relations advisor I've ever seen, just mows over everyone and anyone, and with no regard for trying to tell his story. And none of that really affects the league. It's just it affects the optics of those of us who follow it. Things like last year having Big Ten media days in I think it was Vegas or Los Angeles? I can't remember.
Vegas.
I know it was so far away that nobody wanted to go. I mean, this year there's already criticism in the SEC because the media days are in Tampa, which is in the SEC footprint, but it's too far to drive for a lot of people, which is how a lot of media people get to these things. So there's just because you're more aware doesn't mean you're more effective. Money is where the action is, and really it's not even naming rights for stadiums. It's the barbarians at the gate are private equity, and so far both Petitti and Sankey have kept them away, but it won't be long before their pitchforks are knocking through the door again.
Talking with Paul Finebaum of the Paul Finebaum Show on ESPN. Paul, I also, in thinking about the Protect College Sports Act, it seems like every other year there's another name for one of these bills that's trying to put guardrails on something that you can't actually apply guardrails to, or at least the federal government can. If they don't have the support of Greg Sankey, of Tony Petitti, and of their constituents, does this thing, in your opinion, die on the vine, or die on the floor, I should say? And then is the government done trying to interfere with this, or intervene, I guess I should say?
I mean, as of this hour, it doesn't look like it's going to make it. But the wild card in this, and really, quite frankly, and everything in Washington, is the president. He is in favor of this. When you hear the names Randy Levine of the Yankees and Ron DeSantis, those are the two co-chairmen of this presidential commission. They could get in the middle of it, and they certainly have a way of swaying votes. What's happened so far, I think, has been a disaster. There's just no reason for the two senators who are sponsoring this, Cruz and Cantwell, to openly declare war on the Big Ten and the SEC. I know Sankey and possibly Petitti are in Washington today trying to clean up this mess. The problem with Petitti and especially Sankey's been in Washington now for 7 years trying to get Congress to help. And this is the closest they have come. So it's going to be a real conundrum if now they say, we don't like what you've come up with, because the odds of getting Congress to listen again would be nil.
I wanted to kind of change directions here and ask you a question about Texas Tech now that the Sorsby College aspect of this thing is settled a little bit. For me, part of why I was so enraged was I didn't know if it was necessarily worth it to go through all the trouble for Sorsby Will Hammond, their backup who will now be the starter, played a little bit last year. Do you think Tech is still a team that's going to be can make a run in the college football playoff without Brendan Sorsby?
I think they could, primarily because the league is pretty weak. And as you guys know, all you have to do is get through your league in some semblance of shape, and you're probably going to find your way into the playoffs. They overplayed their card badly. I think if Hammond had been healthy, they wouldn't have done it. But it was kind of the merging of college football's billionaires and leaders who are feckless and who are taking orders from the sideline. And it would have been one thing if this guy had been in that system for a long time and had gone astray and they were trying to help him back. But this was just so mercenary, going out, buying a guy who's already been to 2 other schools just to plug a hole that they needed to get back to the playoffs.
Paul, people in Columbus, Ohio this morning are all excited because Jeremiah Smith has been ranked a 99 in the EA college sports game. Do people in the South get as excited about that? Do they get upset that Arch Manning's only a 91 and Kawan Lacey's a 96? Is it as big a deal in the South as it is here?
I think among some people it is, yeah. These are important things. I don't trade in that because of my age group, like some of you might. But I think there's a lot of talk about it. I don't think they're going to hold Jeremiah in contempt, though. I think everybody, including myself, would acknowledge he's the most talented player in the country.
Paul, were you surprised that the NFL came out as strongly against Sorsby's NFL eligibility as they did? And if you were advising Sorsby on doing something, what would it be moving forward?
Yeah, I was a little surprised, but I also thought it showed that, unlike Texas Tech, they gave some thought to it, and really, I think what they objected to was just the slipshod way Sorsby's people tried to pass over the fact that he had gambled on his own team. And, 5 years later, he suddenly decides to get help for his addiction. After 35 days later, he's all fine. That just didn't work with a group like the NFL. As far as Sorsby, I would just go away. Whatever. And I'm not a mental health advisor. I don't gamble, so I'm certainly not an expert on trying to get people to overcome the addiction. But I think he would be wise just to lay low, try to work around the edges of his reputation, and the best way is to disappear and then come back at some point with hopefully a clean bill of health. Without that, he's not going to get any attention from the NFL. And I think the biggest thing he has going against him is I don't think he's an elite quarterback. So that would have been the most interesting thing. Had this been an Arch Manning or Julian Sayin type personality, type talent, would the NFL have gone a different direction?
Paul, thanks so much for the time today, bud. We look forward to catching up with you next week. Enjoy the weekend.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.
Paul Finebaum joins us every Thursday at 10:30, courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Brian Kelly's going to the Mountain West. That's next. Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Amazon Business. With smart business buying, innovative AI tools optimize your purchasing experience, paired with delivery options built for business. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Life is full of uncertainties. You can't control the economy, the prices at the pump, or the grocery store, and you certainly cannot control the weather. But the one thing you can control is your home's efficiency and comfort. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us help you take back control of your home by insulating your walls with our premium foam. You give us a call today, we'll come out, we'll insulate your walls, and we'll throw in your attic for free. So give us a call today, 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing. First up, we've got Harrison wrapping his Dr. Pepper in a tiny quilt so it feels at home. Oh, how tender. That's a pepper thing. And over to Becca, who's whispering affirmations to her can.
You're sweet. You're unique. You're the best thing I ever poured over ice.
She swears it makes it taste better. It's not a science thing, but it's a pepper thing. Why do they all do it? All for that sweet, delicious, truly one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a pepper thing.
Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken 180. Increase flexibility, strength, and endurance. Breaking 100, 90, Even 80 could be just 40 pounds away. Results this summer with the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you. Hey, it's Common Man. Everybody's talking about affordability these days, but the good news is you'll find hundreds of vehicles that fit your budget at GoGermain.com. Drive home in a new sedan starting at just $139 a month. New SUVs from only $189 a month, or a truck for as low as $329. Plus, choose from over 1,700 new and pre-owned vehicles, all priced under $30K, and it's only at GoGermain.com. And with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Go see my friends today. GoGermain.com.
Don't wait for your AC to break down in the summer heat. Call Columbus Worthington Air for a $69 air conditioning tune-up. An AC tune-up can improve efficiency to help save money on energy bills and prevent costly breakdowns. Trust the local experts for reliable service 7 days a week, backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Proudly serving Columbus homeowners for 90 years and counting. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes.
Visit CWAOhio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Some things shouldn't change. The smell of coffee on a Saturday morning, a handshake that actually means something, a neighbor you can count on. For more than 30 years, Newman Roofing has been a part of this community, and this community has been a part of us. We're family-owned, locally operated, and proud to serve the same neighborhoods we live in ourselves. Every roof we install is built to last. Every home we step into, we treat like our own. Every family we serve, we treat with respect. That's the Newman way. And along the way, more than 1,200 homeowners have trusted us enough to leave 5-star reviews. To us, that says one thing. Treating people right never goes out of style, because excellent customer service isn't a thing of the past. It's our promise to keep doing things the right way. 3 decades, one family, a whole lot of neighbors who have become friends. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof. Call 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online today at newmanroofing.com.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
First Friday miracles are always better with Uncle Bo. This is Bishop and Friends.
Eric Reeser, Ryan Baker, Joshua Perry rolling with you on a Thursday. In case you missed it, Ross Bjork projects Ohio State to be the first athletic department in the country to have a $500 million budget. That's definitely
something.
That's definitely a thing.
Thing or not a thing?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
To answer the question that came through our YouTube chat by Turkey Bass, the Ross Bjork press conference is going on right now, and the biggest takeaway is Ohio State's $500 million athletic department budget. That's going to be the first in the country. Few athletic departments are going to match that. We'll have more from Ross's press conference throughout the morning, and then Tim May will join us tomorrow at 10:30 for more on more.
Risa, I also saw that he said they plan on the renovation at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center being around $125 million.
I want to see the prints for that bad boy.
It's why you're getting boxes, the south end zone. It's why you're getting wide-ass seats on top of those boxes in the south end zone. It's why you're getting a new, the 1922 club in B-Deck.
Yep.
All of these things. It's.
Can I say something about the Woody?
Yes.
Structurally, a flawed building.
Oh?
The way it is right now, they can build up, which is a good thing. The coaches don't have separate offices from the meeting rooms. And that was kind of the first time I had seen that, where the coach's office is also the meeting room of their position group. So it's like it needs some changes.
It's been a minute since I've worked in like a professional office, but I remember a time where like open floor plan was becoming a thing. Yeah. Was that what they were trying to go for?
No, I mean, it's all,
collaborative spaces.
They have everybody has an office, but it's also a meeting room, and then it's got their desk and like all of their stuff, not just like a private room for them to actually work quietly in.
They don't have cubicles like us
if I wanted to go watch tape, somebody was getting kicked out.
Okay.
Right? Like the coach was either going somewhere else, or I was getting kicked over to like the full team defense meeting room, which was a completely different vibe. Like it's a weird setup.
Front Office Sports reported Wednesday that former LSU head coach Brian Kelly is expected to be a part of a three-man booth calling Mountain West games this fall on CBS. The change comes as Charles Davis is replacing Gary Danielson alongside Brad Nessler on the Big Ten games. Kelly was a part of CBS Sports Network's studio coverage around the NFL draft. Back in April, Kelly told the USA Today he does ultimately plan on returning to coaching. Thing or not a thing?
I think that last part is maybe more of the thing for me. Like, these guys will go into television so they can remain famous, so people are talking about them in the next hiring cycle. They want to get on these games to prove how intelligent they are and how many great ideas they have about the sport. Is anybody going to watch him calling Mountain West games? I'm not sure. Him in a three-man booth, I think that'll be interesting. Does he know when to get in, when to get out? Do we hear a funny accent? All things I'm curious about.
I don't think this is too much of a thing, but I think Brian Kelly will probably be pretty good at this. He obviously knows the game, and he's been doing some stuff with CBS Sports on some of their like studio shows, and he's been pretty good at that. I wonder where he's going to have to go to be a coach, because I think he will probably get another job again. Will he have to go back to like a Cincinnati or a directional Michigan or a MAC school, or will he get a job at, say, a Purdue or something like that? It's going to be interesting to see.
Ross Bjork also talking about Jake Diebler in the basketball program. Quote, "We should be a lot better next year. Jake's done a great job," end quote. I think that is a thing. I think everything he has done since the end of last season, since the game against TCU, has been great. Now you just got to win basketball games, major basketball games in March.
I'm with you on that. I think everybody here is rooting for him to be able to do that. The thing that I would love to see is, because this is, and we have to remind ourselves of this, and we saw Ryan Day, and he was immediately great, right? But guys who haven't really done the job before at a place like this, that's a more common thing. So I have to remind myself of that.
Yeah.
Hopefully a few years from now, we're hearing the rumors about, is an NBA franchise looking at a guy like him? Like, that's my ultimate hope for where this can go. But to your point, it starts with making runs in the postseason. Like, you got to win some big time, really important games.
I will say this about the basketball team this season. I don't know how it's going to go, because I think you're going to be putting a lot on a freshman in Anthony Thompson, and maybe towards the end a lot on another freshman in LJ Smith. But I will say, when I look towards the end of the year and we're heading towards the postseason, a unit of LJ Smith, Anthony Thompson, John Mobley Jr., Amari Bynum, and whoever that fifth is, whether it be Yelovich or Ojonwuna at the center, or you're playing small ball and you have Bynum at the 5 and it's Jimmy Williams or it's Justin Pippen, however that looks, that's the most athletic basketball team you've had in a long time, and that excites me.
I think they've got one more roster spot, so I'd be very interested to see if anything's coming in regards to that. We talked earlier this week about the Portland Trailblazers hiring T-Wolves assistant Micah Norrie as their new head coach. ESPN's Tim McMahon uncovered some details of Norrie's contract with Portland. It includes only one guaranteed year, with team options on the second and third years. The deal has a below-market base salary and includes incentives based on their success. J.B. Bickerstaff, Pistons head coach, is the president of the NBA Coaches Association. He called the contract, quote, a slap in the face to our value. Bickerstaff adds, quote, I understand his story and his journey to get to the spot where he was able to get this opportunity, and I don't want to take away from what should be a special moment for him, for his family, and a job that's well-deserved and earned. But I feel like he was put in a situation that he shouldn't be put in with having to make a choice of this nature because of the structure of what that contract is. Thing or not a thing?
Yeah, this is a thing. I feel like people shouldn't sign deals like this in any walk of life.
Bad precedent, JP.
It is. It sets a bad tone. And I am glad JB Bickerstaff said what he said. Like, I understand this idea of, like, you want the job, you've worked so hard for it, you're going to take the opportunity. But you can't let people think that it's okay for you to come in on a one-year deal that is incentive heavy and you take far below market value to do so. Like, that to me it's a wild spot to be in. And franchises doing this, like, we've got to be adults about how we deal with people in their jobs.
So this is a thing because you're right, JP. Don't sign the deal. And I understand it's hard. This is one of, what is there, 30 or 32 teams in the association? It's one of those jobs, so there's not a lot of them out there. But if you don't think that's a fair market deal and it's not what you deserve, don't do it. Mark Norrie is a guy, I'm sure, that would have been up for other head coaching jobs in the next year or two. So don't take Mike Norrie, excuse me. Don't take the job. Don't say yes. It gets me all the time when there's people in our industry that go out and do stuff for free, and it's not like volunteer for something or whatnot, but they're just like, they just want to do it as a hobby, so they want to go out and call a game for free. Don't do that because you're ruining it for the rest of us. Yep. So when Mike Norrie does this, he's ruining it for the next guy that's going to try to get an NBA head coaching job.
I was just about to say, paying you an opportunity and experience. Does that sound like anything to anybody
we'll pay
in this
room?
Exposure. We've got some sound about Joey Bosa, the eldest Bosa brother, and his future in the NFL. And also, I'm going to try my best, my very best, my American best, to get Joshua and Baker in on tonight's World Cup match. We'll do it next. Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
America wouldn't be America without Ohio. So this year, while we celebrate our nation's 250th year, let's also celebrate Ohio's vital role in our nation's past, its present, and its future. At America250ohio.org, you'll find events from engaging talks on history to Ohio-related movies to memorable drives around the state. There's so much to discover. So what are you waiting for? This celebration begins at America250ohio.org. Sponsored by the Ohio History Connection, aired by the OAB and this station.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
It's time
time for sun and savings at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, get a new 2060 Elantra SE for $59 per month for a 2-year lease. Just $59 a month for the drive into summer sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit $39.95 down plus tax title first month payment. 7,500 miles per year and 7.6.
Spring cleaning is when homes get a new twinkle in their eye,
a new spring in their step,
a new color in their cheeks.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
When that shiny truck from 1-800-GOT-JUNK arrives at your house,
it's a sign of a new beginning,
a clean start,
a breath of fresh air.
When your home feels clean and happy,
the people inside feel clean and happy too.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit us at 1-800-GOTJUNK.com.
That's the sound of Ellie De La Cruz stealing third. That's the sound of you stealing third. Right now at UDF, buy any 2 bottled beverages and get the third one free. Any bottle, any flavor, anything you're thirsty for. Soda, energy, coffee, and more. Buy 2 bottled drinks, get the third free with Ellie Steals Third. Now at United Dairy Farmers. Some restrictions may apply.
I'm Yolanda Harris. I'm a journalist at 10 TV News. I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. And that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it moves. It moves you to act, to verify, to volunteer. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at 10 TV, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Central Ohio.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. For the first time since 2023, an Ohio State Buckeye was picked in the NBA draft. Bruce Thornton's taking his talents to Houston as the Rockets use the first pick in the second round on the Buckeyes' all-time leading scorer. This morning, the Charlotte Hornets sent LaMelo Ball to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first-round pick, 3 first-round pick swaps, and 3 second-round selections. The NHL draft is tomorrow in Buffalo. The Maple Leafs have the top pick. The Blue Jackets pick at 14. We'll have live NHL draft coverage on The Fan tomorrow night at 7. The U.S. men's national soccer team wraps up World Cup group play tonight at 10. They'll play Turkey at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Team USA is already on to the round of 32. That'll be next Wednesday. And in baseball, Thursday, Guardians and Reds are both off. Guardians beat the White Sox yesterday. Reds fell to the Brewers. This update sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. Together to serve you better. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.net.
You say something with enough confidence, it must be true. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Yes, you are. Happy Thursday, everybody. Eric Reeser, Ryan Baker, Joshua Perry, the pride of Olentangy, joining us for the last hour of this program, and then tomorrow as well.
Yes.
Thank you in advance for what we might put you through on a Friday program. We got Tim May at 10:30 tomorrow, and then Aaron Portzline of The Athletic's going to give us a proper CBJ draft primer. That's Friday at 11:30. We'll do some Shelley time today at 11:30, just from Joshua, a player's perspective, what all of this Zach Werenski scuttlebutt means 2 days out from their scheduled re-meeting. do they need him to commit? I mean, he's got 2 years left on his contract. Are you, as a player, not annoyed if, like, hey, we got to meet with you? Like, I'm busy.
Yeah, I think as an organization, you got to figure out, yes, is he going to commit? And not just like, hey, are you in for this year? Are you in for the near term? It's like, would you sign another deal here? Because if not, we need to get something back. We're not just going to let you walk. And I think that's the thing that you want to figure out. Like, where are we, and are you in this?
I actually hate that we're even talking about this.
Oh, I do too.
You know I love hockey, and I love the Blue Jackets, so I love talking about them any chance I can, and we can. But I hate that we're talking about this because I think it's a nothing story. I think it was just brought on because, well, Dylan Larkin did this, and Zach Werenski's his best friend, and Zach hasn't ever won. And Zach did talk about, how in his exit interviews last year that playing with Team USA has fueled his passion for winning again. But I think this is a nothing burger story. I really, really do. And it just became a story because of rumors, and people had to check in on it.
I do think, though, for Don Waddell, you're doing your due diligence.
You have to.
You've wrapped up the NHL draft, and hopefully those selections, if you do use the 14th overall pick on somebody, that you wrap all of that up, and then you make sure the future of the franchise is set up the way that they want it to go.
And speaking of Don Waddell, he's going to join Rothman and Ice at 12:45 today, so I'm sure AR will ask about this exact subject.
And again, we'll have Jody Shelley on at 11:30 to preview a little bit of that, what's going through Waddell's head as he enters the NHL draft, and then everything with Werenski and what could be what has already kind of been an insane free agency period in the NHL. Back to the NBA draft, you heard Bruce Thornton goes to Houston with the first pick in the second round. Great for Bruce. Great opportunity for him. He'll be, I think, Summer League, probably one of their most valuable players, if not one of the hardest workers. An opportunity there in Houston. I think they've got a young core. It'd be very interesting to talk about drama with what they do with Kevin Durant.
Well,
but that's going to be a great opportunity for Bruce to kind of learn how the league really works when you have one of these superstars and how his mood can change.
Those guys are a different breed. And I have been around people like that, and I still can't understand the mind of the superstar. Yeah. So hopefully he gets a better grasp of it than I ever had. But you talk about the opportunity there. We know what the leadership is. We know what his competitive character is. Those things early on are important, right? Like there's a learning curve to coming into a professional league and all the things that it takes to be successful. But if you've got to learn how to be a guy who can compete, a guy who knows how to lead and understands who he should follow until it's his time to lead, you got no shot. Yeah. So got a chance.
Hopefully Bruce doesn't end up with any burner accounts. Hopefully that's not what he learns from KD.
There's nothing wrong with the burner.
Look, you can learn a lot from somebody just being awful. And KD on the court, sometimes good, sometimes maybe not great. But off the court, 6 burners. You can just point and be like, don't be him. Don't be him, Bruce. We'll get to the Joey Bosa stuff here in a sec, but I'm going to try to make my final pitch to these 2 World Cup haters. Team USA is already on to the round of 32. They'll play next Wednesday. I think the opponent's still to be determined there. But for the Americans, tonight against Turkey at 10 o'clock. Neither of you have watched a minute of World Cup action.
Can I tell you what happened yesterday?
Uh-oh.
I was at Bridge Park getting ready to have some dinner with some friends, and I was getting a drink at the bar of this restaurant. They had the games on. And to prove a point, because all of you are trying to convince me to watch these games, to prove a point, I turned my back to the televisions.
My guy.
Yes, sir.
My guy.
I guess I have to appreciate the commitment that you've shown, both of you. But I also think that you're going to miss out on what's going to be an awesome atmosphere. It will be at 10 o'clock, so you can obviously pull that it'll be past your bedtime card. I'll probably fall asleep before halftime because I just can't stay up that late any day of the week.
So in your selling arguments for this tonight.
Well, hold on.
There's a lot against it. One, you just said 10 p.m.
Oof.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern.
I do it, but it's tough for me to stay up for Jackets games that start at 10:30 p.m. The other thing this means nothing tonight, right? Like, they are their spot is locked in. And I think, Reese, if I heard T-Bone and Tyvis this morning correctly, their opponent's even locked in. So their next game is already set in stone.
It looks like the match time and date, July 1st at 8 o'clock, but I don't know if the opponent has been yet.
I'm pretty sure they said yesterday there was a game, I don't know what it was, that locked in their opponent for the next game. So this literally, they're playing for nothing tonight, so that's definitely not going to get me in. Listen, I'm with you, Reese. I'm sure all of this is a great atmosphere, and it's a great time for everyone. This sport is just not for me.
Agree.
And now I don't know if I would pull a JP and turn my back to the TV.
You're turning your back to America
to prove my point, but I'm also not going to be sitting there staring at that TV in the establishment. I'll find another TV that had something else on.
You got to turn your petty up a little bit. That's what you got to do.
I enjoy it. I appreciate it. And I love that you did that.
Bosnia and Herzegovina, if I pronounced those countries correctly, have a greater than 99% chance of being Team USA's next opponent.
Greater than 99% chance.
So, yeah,
what the hell does that mean?
Fully lock it in because not all of the group stage games have been wrapped up yet. But that's pretty good for Team USA. That's an opponent that they can beat. That's more momentum for this to move through 4th of July weekend to make it a fun month. This has been something, Joshua, for my entire life that it's always been just one more, we got to have one more guy or one more appearance. And Team USA and U.S. men's soccer is going to be on a global stage and be one of the best teams in the world. And every time it's fallen short.
Well,
so you have the opportunity.
Your hopes
to
are
show
up right
you're
now,
not,
is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm feeling a little patriotic, obviously, for the 4th of July holiday.
That's all fair.
They're also likely not going to be with Christian Pulisic tonight. He is fit after missing the Australia game with a calf injury. They didn't need him. They won that game 2-0. You are going to see a lot of rotating tonight from Mauricio Pochettino, who's their head coach. You got 4 guys that have yellow cards, and so they will likely see limited to 0 action tonight because you don't want to compound those yellow cards. For those unaware, if you do get a yellow card against Turkey, they would be suspended for the round of 32 match on July 1st.
Don't want to do that.
You're avoiding injuries and yellow cards.
JP, you know the meme that's going around the internet right now with Sophie Cunningham and her finger?
Yes.
And she's pointing. That's how I feel every soccer fan is right now. Anything something good happens in the World Cup, that's how I feel everyone is to me. Look, see, you got to watch. You got to watch.
They're trying to make me feel like I'm missing something. And listen, I wish I was invested in this. I wish that I could feel all the pride. I don't feel anything. That's the hardest part about it. It's I don't think you're ever going to get me to feel soccer the way that other people are feeling it right now.
I think you're both missing out.
I've missed out before in life.
ESPN's Adam Schefter was discussing the idea of the 49ers signing Joey Bosa and pairing him with his brother Nick, but it feels like it's more likely than not that the eldest Bosa might not actually play ever again.
Joey Bosa has made so much money in his career that I think some people have wondered whether we will see him play in the NFL again. I think it is more likely than not that Joey Bosa has played his last NFL down. Now, again, could a situation like the 49ers come along that entices him enough to come out and play again? Yeah, absolutely. We saw it happen last year with Phillip Rivers. So you never know when a player is fully done and when he's not done. But the fact of the matter is, I think if the Niners wanted to pair those two together, it probably would have happened already. I think if Joey Bosa wanted to play football, it probably would have happened already. And I think he's perfectly content to sit on the sideline with all the money that he's made, not have to go to training camp, not have to put himself into a situation that he doesn't want to be in, and be highly selective to choose an opportunity to play again. And that's even if he does that, which I would guess there's a real chance he doesn't.
Could the eldest Bosa parachute in on a playoff team? We'll have Joshua Perry answer that next. Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Common Man. Everybody's talking about affordability these days, but the good news is you'll find hundreds of vehicles that fit your budget at GoGermain.com. Drive home in a new sedan starting at just $139 a month. New SUVs from only $189 a month, or a truck for as low as $329. Plus, choose from over 1,700 new and pre-owned vehicles, all priced under $30K, and it's only at GoGermain.com. And with their $1,000 price promise, no one's going to sell you a car for less. Go see my friends today. GoGermain.com.
Celebrate Star Spangled Savings with Logan Services. Right now, save up to $3,000 on a qualifying train system. It's hard to stop a train. Free same-day estimates, next-day installation. Logan Services.
Getting a speeding ticket can ruin your day. But what about that cyclist or the pedestrian crossing the street? If you hit them while speeding, you'll do more than just ruin their days. That's why tickets are more than just a fine. They're a second chance. A reminder of what's on the line when you're behind the wheel. You won't get a do-over every time. So take this as your sign to follow the speed limit every drive. Speeding slows you down. Paid for by NHTSA.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Hey, this is Bobby Carpenter here with my friend Jake Ballard with QC Kinetics. So, Jake, I know that the years of football began to erode your knee. Did that subside when you got done playing football, or is that something that has persisted even years after retiring?
When I retired from football, the pain didn't go away. So for me, I had a lot of pain in my left knee, and it was something that caused me aches and pains every day, especially in the morning and the evening. Once I arrived at QC Kinetics and saw Dr. Tesner, they told me all about my knee. The one thing that really got me excited was there's no surgery. We started treatment right away.
It can change your life, and hopefully that's been the same for you as it has for me.
Bobby, I feel a lot better. Walking without pain, going through my day without pain, even having no pain while I was being more active and hiking or riding a bike.
So, Jake, it was great talking to you about this. And if you're dealing with that kind of pain, check out QC Kinetics, located in Dublin and in Gahanna, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544, or go to qckinetics.com/Columbus.
Hey, friends, if you want to witness the world's biggest soccer tournament in person, well, look no further than Twin Peaks. Enter the Twin Peaks Go for Gold giveaway presented by Michelob Ultra and Casamigos, and you could be one of 5 grand prize winners who get the VIP treatment plus travel and lodging. For your chance to win unmatched views of the match, visit TwinPeaksSoccer.com to enter and choose your host city. Entries close June 14th, so don't wait. Twin Peaks eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Your favorite fan shows are available as a podcast. What a concept. And don't miss exclusive podcast content like Austin and Berm. Listen on your schedule from anywhere in the world. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Mostly sunny to partly sunny skies today with our temperatures getting into the mid to low 80s, and there will be a chance of showers and thunderstorms as we head into the afternoon and early evening. That could linger overnight, otherwise mostly cloudy with lows down into the 60s. And then for Friday, we will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms develop. Otherwise, expect mostly to partly cloudy skies with highs near 80 degrees. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Miss a little, miss a lot. Catch Bishop and Friends wherever you get your podcasts. It's free.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
The Fan. Our top men are working on everything except this show. This is Bishop and Friends.
I think Jadeveon Clowney did this last season. We're in September. He signed a one-year deal with the Cowboys. Finished with 8.5 sacks for Dallas in 2025. It was a $3.5 million deal, and that feels, Joshua, like something that Joey Bosa could do.
Yeah, if he
doesn't need training camp.
No. I mean, this is a guy, obviously seasoned vet, played a ton of years in the league. He knows how that thing goes, and if he parachutes in, it's going to be for one job, which is go hunt quarterbacks. So I could see that. It's just the question, and I thought Schefter framed it really well. Dude made $156 million playing ball. Like, it is solely a, what do you desire to do at this point in your athletic career and in your life? Question for him.
Yeah, I'm looking here, and Bosa hasn't played a full season since 2021, but I think he had 15 games last season. And so if the physical lines up, yeah, parachute in and try to go for a ring. And it was with the Buffalo Bills, I think, that, they, of the teams in the AFC, were one of the more ambitious in terms of their free agent signings last offseason.
Mm-hmm.
And the Baltimore Ravens, I felt like if it wasn't going to be then for either of those teams, it might never be.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll be curious to see if he's completely done. And Joey's an interesting bird because it feels like a guy who's just going to fade into complete obscurity in terms of how he lives his post-football life.
Yeah.
We may never see him again.
No, that's valid.
Yeah.
Like, does feel like those two especially will disappear because they're not going to go get in the media. They're not getting a podcast.
He's going to be in like Europe at EDM concerts or whatever. Just like that's going to be.
See him randomly. Like,
yes.
Oh, that's Joey Bosa.
Like somebody will post a video and be like, this guy used to play in the NFL. And that's going to be it.
We got the NHL draft tomorrow in Buffalo. Jackets pick at 14. The Maple Leafs have the number 1 overall pick. Jody Shelley is going to join us here in about 10 minutes. We'll do some pre-draft Shelley time and have a Zach Werenski conversation. I think it's based off of people taking red yarn and connecting it to a corkboard. It's, Dylan Larkin wants out.
Uh-huh.
Dylan Larkin wants out of Detroit, and Detroit's in a similar spot to the Blue Jackets and constantly chasing the 8. And Dylan Larkin and Zach Werenski are best friends, and they roomed together and played together at Michigan, and they were on the Olympics. And so if Dylan wants out, well, Zach's in a similar situation, so Zach probably wants out. And I think the NHL insiders have done a good job of saying, well, I'm sure it's being discussed.
Yeah.
Because if you're Don Waddell, why wouldn't you be taking calls?
Yeah.
On everybody. It feels like even Adam Fantilli, for the right price, I thought maybe a Connor McDavid might force his way out of Edmonton. I know this bringing on Mike Babcock as the head coach, you needed him. You needed Draisaitl to say yes.
Sure.
But there are guys out there that I think would move the needle enough for Waddell to move off of Fantilli.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a time of year where you have to take inventory and you have to do all the due diligence around your organization. Now, of course, the offers have to be right and you have to feel like you're going in the right direction. But it's just, I feel like this conversation revolves around this weird idea of how teams are built here or how you can do it, where it's like, can you hold on to one of your stars because maybe you're not able to keep them in free agency and your team's not going to be good enough yet, so do you move off of them? Mm-hmm. But then it's like, what are you doing? Are you trying to trade for another player in return and then hope that you're able to lock them up? Do you try to draft somebody, and how has that been going lately, and you can't attract free agents? I'm just trying to figure out, like, from an organizational, tactical standpoint, how do you address all of these different things that people keep saying are issues preventing the Jackets from taking that winning step?
So, and again, Don Waddell's going to be on Rothman and Ice later today. We're going to talk to Jody Shelley about this. I don't think Don Waddell cares about what all the people are saying. I think he cares about his conversations that he's had in the past and will continue to have with Zach Werenski. Like, Zach Werenski, other than some vacations, I believe is here in town. They just had a baby, him and his wife. And I don't think he's far from Don Waddell or Nationwide Arena and the rink. So I think these guys are on good footing, good understanding. I think Zach was probably told as well as other Blue Jackets leaders, what the plan was moving forward, what they wanted to get accomplished this year, things they would be trying to work on. Again, I think this story is just an absolute nothing that just came from media people or internet people with websites that said, hey, what about this because of this? So I really think this is nothing. I think Don Waddell also has bigger things to worry about right now with this draft and trying to improve this team than a nothing story about Zach Werenski. Now, maybe we'll find out somewhere down the line that this is true. And Zach doesn't like what they did this offseason, or if they don't win this year, he'll want out. And then Don Waddell will deal with that. But I don't think this is something Don Waddell really has to deal with right now. And I will say this, Reese, to your point about Blue Jackets players and this and that, nobody's untradeable. Like Wayne Gretzky was traded multiple times, and he's the greatest to ever do it. So Joe Montana didn't finish his career with the 49ers. He went to the Chiefs. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. So nobody is untradeable for the right price and offer.
I know that you can't sign him to an extension until next year for Z, but I do think for Don Waddell, you've got to constantly take the temperature of your best player. And he's got to be involved in every decision that your franchise makes. Not every time, you're not checking in on him constantly, but if there's a big move, if there's a question about a player, you're checking in with Z, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, you feel like you should, but that's the hardest part. Like, you can't, I don't think that you can fully operate the way that you need to and be like, but what we have to do here needs to make sure that this guy is happy or else he won't resign. And then, so like that, I guess that's where I'm like, this is the conundrum there, is you're trying to figure out how invested are both of us in the same direction. Would things change on that if they go out this season and things don't get off to the right start and they're not looking good and they don't have the turnaround that they had last year? Like, these are all concerns, I think, if you're a general manager trying to figure out what you do with a star of that caliber.
Because if you, like you say, go into this season and it's not a playoff, you don't make a playoff push. I am over talking about the Blue Jackets as a, hey, just get the 8. I am now, you must make the playoffs and you must win series. Series is even. Like this, we've gone too far by just saying, hey, we're just thankful to be in a wild card chase.
Right.
And if you at any point, Don Waddell or Rick Bowness, get the sense that Zach's not interested in a long-term and staying here long-term, then you've got to do what you believe is right and what you believe is in the best interest of your franchise.
It's a hard thing to want to address.
It's really tough, and it sucks. And I think that's the biggest thing with Blue Jackets fans that don't want to acknowledge the possibility of Z wanting out.
Right.
Because it's happened before. Best player says, yeah, I'm not trying to play here anymore. And that hurts.
Yes.
Rejection hurts.
And here's the thing with that. I've heard a lot of Blue Jackets fans say, if that was, and again, I've said I don't think this is anything, but if this were true and Zach was like, hey, I want out, I don't think Don Waddell is making a trade for 3 first-round picks. I think he's making a trade for other NHL players. This is a hockey trade. And you mentioned your best player wanted out before. The Rick Nash trade probably kicked off the best stretch of Blue Jackets hockey you've ever had, because it brought you pieces like Artem Anisimov, who was a quality center in this league. It brought you pieces like a Brandon Dubinsky, who helped change the mindset of this team. So that stuff, coupled with goalie Bob, it helped kickstart the era that became the Yarmo and JD and John Tortorella era. But those things happened before those guys came, and it really helped establish that. So again, if it were to happen, that Z wanted out, Don Waddell and Rick Bowness, these guys are really smart, and they're not just going to trade Z for draft picks. They're going to get quality players in return.
And you're right in saying that the get back for the give of Rick Nash was quality, and it did help you build for the future. And I do have faith that if we were to walk down that road where Zach wants out, that they would be able to get a return that would be deserving of a player that's the best defenseman in the league.
Right.
But from a fan, that still really hurt when Rick Nash wanted out.
Yeah. I mean, I think it hurts a lot more, too, when these things happen and you don't have, there's not the elite winning that came along with the era that's ending, right? Because I feel like if you see the writing on the wall and you make the move off of the player and you're opening up your next era and you're just closing off an era where it's like, man, like we won a ton and it all felt good and we made a push for the cup, then you're kind of like, man, I'm sad it's over, but I'm excited to see the next thing. I think a lot of our consternation comes from this idea of, you're getting rid of one of the only good things that we have right now.
It's not the most logical perspective. It's the emotional fan perspective.
There is an emotional attachment to like, this is the thing that brought me joy. It wasn't that we had elite winning. It was just I loved watching this player. He was really good.
And it's one of the things that we have come to love about Z is because he chose to stay here, right?
Yep.
Seth Jones said no. He said yes. But it's also one of those things where, yeah, it's a good thing, but if he doesn't want to be here, and that's the only way any of this would happen, was him saying, I do not want to be here, then it's not a good thing anymore.
Talking to Jody Shelley is always a good thing. We'll do Shelley time in 2 minutes. It's Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
When you get Eco to fix your HVAC system,
we give you back all the money you paid us to repair that old system.
When you finally need to buy a new one from us,
up to $1,500.
Get Eco.
ECO. All those extra years of service for free.
On me.
GetEco.com.
Hey, it's Bo Bishop here. If you've been thinking about an RV, now is the time at RCD RV. They've got over 850 RVs in stock. Motorhomes, fifth wheels, travel trailers from trusted brands like Cougar, Georgetown, Springdale, Forest River, and Salem. Trade values are sky high right now, and every RV purchase from RCD RV comes with a $500 ODNR gift card for your next Ohio State Park getaway. This limited time event ends June 27th, so don't wait. Visit RCD RV or shop now at rcdrv.com.
Factory direct is really pretty simple. The factory sells it directly to the consumer. I mean, we build it. There's nothing that anybody else does. We have stations where everybody touches the window. Everyone sees what's going on. So if there's an issue, we catch it as it's going down the line. That's probably the biggest thing, is the ability to make sure what goes out the door is what I want to go out the door.
Visit Rosati Windows by the end of this month and get 35% off all windows and doors.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
3 decades, one family, and a simple promise to deliver a white glove customer experience every single time. Newman Roofing, locally owned, family operated, and proud to have earned 1,200 5-star reviews from families just like you. Call Newman Roofing today, 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit newmanroofing.com.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The gloves. It's Shelley time.
Always a good time to do this, but when there's an NHL draft on the horizon tomorrow night in Buffalo, we got to bring on Jody Shelley for some perspective. Jody joins us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. And as a former player and as a current broadcaster who's with the team, Jody, I did want to start just with your kind of perspective on fans, and I'm going to lump myself into the fan portion of it, that react one way or the other to something like the Zach Werenski news scuttlebutt that might not even be a thing.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I mean, I think, we're all invested in our team, the Columbus Blue Jackets. So, it's that time of rumors right now. It's that time of speculation. The Stanley Cup's been handed out. The trophies have been handing out. Teams have been disappointed with not winning the Cup or not being in the playoffs. And every team now is looking for improvements except one, and that's the Carolina Hurricanes. So, go back to any year that they didn't win the Cup, and the narrative was about this team in Carolina that just couldn't get it done in the big moments, and they did get it done this year. It takes time. It takes patience. I know we hate hearing that word around here, but I think it's fair for the fans to have their emotional opinion one way or the other. I think that that's what we sign up for. I think when you're a professional athlete, you understand it. I've played in bigger markets. I've played in smaller markets, but it's always the same. When you have a true connection with the team and the players, as a fan, I think you have the right to have your opinion with how you feel about things.
Well, a lot of opinions are floating around and certainly some nervousness. You mentioned speculation. What do you speculate comes out of this meeting that is supposed to happen between Z and Waddell?
Well, I just think they'll just calm everything down. That's what I think. I think when you see Brady Tkachuk leave Ottawa, I think when you see or hear about Austin Matthews in Toronto, when you hear Larkin wanting out, of course, who's Zach Werenski's one of his great friends, they all want a gold medal together. You kind of see, and you can try to connect the dots and speculate. And I think that's what's happening here, in my opinion. I do agree that where there's smoke, there's a little bit of fire at times. But we haven't heard from Zach Werenski yet, and I think that's an important piece of this is to hear where Zach is at publicly, and see where the organization is at. I mean, he's a Blue Jacket under contract for the next 2 years. 2 years from now, he'll be an unrestricted free agent, meaning next July 1st, they can extend him to a new contract. And where is Zach with what he thinks of the team? Is he waiting to see what's happening, what the moves are made? And where's the team on Zach? So this is a team that wants to take the next step. I would think Zach Werenski is in the plans for that, but I'm not the general manager and I'm not making decisions here. So it also depends on what you can get for these players if they're not wholeheartedly in. It's getting ahead of it a little bit if it is 2 years away. It is 2 years away from his contract being up. So he just won the Norris Trophy. You could probably get pretty good for him. But I don't think that way. I think that this meeting, to answer your question, Joshua, is just going to settle things down.
Jody, I tend to agree with you. I kind of think that this is a nothing story with Zach. What is a story, though, is the Edmonton Oilers have hired Mike Babcock. What are your thoughts on that and Babcock pairing up with Connor McDavid?
Isn't that amazing? A lot of here we are in the dead season of the NHL, kind of getting ready for the draft, and we got some big stories here in Columbus, and now of course we're tied to that. I think it's interesting. Mike Babcock, no doubt, has had success as a head coach of the Detroit Red Wings. He did good things in Anaheim as well. When he left here, I didn't think we'd ever see him again, and I kind of sensed that he felt that way. I'm surprised. I think there's a lot of good young coaches out there that are coming up, but Edmonton, it sounds like, knew they needed an attitude adjustment. And with Mike Babcock, it's his way or the highway. And I think players do have success with that, not being catered to as superstars. I go back to Jack Eichel when he was with the Buffalo Sabres. And he signed a long-term deal, and he went through a few coaches, and it was all, it was Jack Eichel's team, and what do we do for Jack, and who do we put around him? You don't win a Stanley Cup doing that. I mean, you could ask Wayne Gretzky, the greatest player of all time. I mean, he credits all of his teammates for winning all those Stanley Cups. So, to bring in a guy like Babcock, I'm really surprised he's there. I didn't think that his press conference really was necessary to not own if there was some mistakes made by him here. But that's him. He's going to stay above it, and he's not going to address it, and he's going to move on to focusing on the Edmonton Oilers, and I think he'll help as a coach.
Doing some pre-draft Shelley time on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Jody, I think it's been a little over a month since we've had you on, so I'm wanting to get your thoughts on the Trent Vogelhuber news. He gets promoted to Rick Bowness's staff. It does feel like the Jackets do have their coach in waiting, yes?
Well, I remember probably a decade ago now, Jared Bednar was the coach that led the team to a championship down there, and then he went to, that was in Cleveland with the Monsters at the time, and then he went to Colorado and took his assistant coach Nolan Pratt, and they won Stanley Cup there. And so I think they see that with Vogelhuber. I think that it's a miss letting Bednar go at the time, and I think that that's what's happening here is that Trent Vogelhuber is a guy who's from the area, started as a fan, grew up in the Blue Jackets minor hockey system, and then quickly diverted into a coach when he had some injuries, jumped at the opportunity. He's done a very good job. And I think this is smart because young players coming in and older players understand the intelligence and the feel that these young coaches have. When you look at some of the young coaches like Manny Malhotra with the Vancouver Canucks, who used to be a Blue Jacket, wins a championship last year. Now he's the coach of the Vancouver Canucks. I think it's time for those guys to get in there. There's a lot of moments where you hear the same coach, Laviolette's rehired, he's out. in L.A. Sure, he's a fine coach, but you know what I mean? These young guys need an opportunity. I think it's a good move. I think it's a bold move, and I think it's the right one with Rick Bowness, with all of his knowledge, to come in here and really let Trent get his feet wet as a part of the Blue Jacket staff.
All right, Jody, so we've got the draft coming up here, and then there are also some roster moves that need to be addressed here for the Blue Jackets. So how would you like to see, or what's the most ideal way this roster can come into shape for the upcoming season?
Well, defensemen, we know last year with the defensive depth, they need to get that shored up. I feel like the goaltending is good with Jack Reeves in there. He had a great experience at the World Championships. These guys will be ready to go. I think that the center ice position, again, you talk to any team that's underachieved, the center ice position is going to be a position that has to be bulked up a little bit. You know, when you got Coyle and Fantilli for sure, two proven NHL players, that's really the two solids for me. Then from where do you go from there? There's going to be opportunities with the guys who've been drafted in the past. And what do they do here? Do they package that pick here with the Columbus Blue Jackets? And you're feeling it around the league with some moves already of players and a lot of talk that everyone's looking for NHL-ready players. That's the only way to be better right now. So I think with the mid-round pick of the Blue Jackets, I think there's going to be moves to made, especially to help in the defensive zone, the defensemen of the team. They need depth, they need size, and they need some of that grit. So I think the blueprint is here. They've got some great pieces to build around. But now I think there's got to be some key additions, and I wouldn't be surprised if free agency will be busy for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Jody, you just mentioned it. It's been a wild week in the league with movement. Just as we're talking here, I'm seeing that the Philadelphia Flyers have sent Garnet Hathaway to the Florida Panthers, so the Panthers make another move and get even more grittier if they needed that with the Kachucks and Marchand. Do you see the Blue Jackets getting in on the trade action before tomorrow night, and will they make that 14th pick?
I don't think they will. But you know, I haven't talked to anybody that you know. I'm not in the know in the room with the scouts who. Listen, the Blue Jackets have scouts all over the world, and there's scouts scouting all the professional leagues in North America. They know what's out there. They have their targets. I would expect them to trade the pick, but only if the deal's right. They have their players that they're targeting. If they're available and the move can be done, and they can have a trade that impacts right away, create the excitement that we've seen in the past, I think they're going to do it. And there's some roster players here who are young that might be time for them to move along too, to bolster this team. But listen, it's speculation season, right? We don't know. But all options are on the table for Don Waddell, Rick Nash, and Chris Clark, who are running the organization right now, to make sure that they make and listen. When you see Buffalo improving, when you see Florida improving, I mean, you got to react. I think you got to stay up to pace with the Philadelphia Flyers and all these teams as well in the Metro. So, you know what's funny about the Hathaway trade you just mentioned? I said about an hour ago to someone, I love Garnet Hathaway. I would love to have Garnet Hathaway on this team. So, anyways, Florida's doing it, and now you're probably going to see a trickle-down effect.
An already busy offseason gets cranked up to an 11 with the NHL draft tomorrow night, 7 o'clock in Buffalo. Jody, thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the weekend, my friend.
Yeah, great talking to you guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
He joins us courtesy of the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. I have a formal question I need to pose to Joshua. We'll do that next. Bishop and Friends on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. AmazonBusiness.com.
Hi, I'm Patty, founder of Awesome Tex. I started with a big idea to give old clothes a new life by turning them into recycled fibers and threads. Everyone told me that this was going to be impossible. But Chase for Business believed in me. They gave me a lot of guidance from the beginning.
Get financial guidance from bankers in the Columbus community and convenient digital tools all in one place. Learn more at chaseforbusiness.com. Make more of what's yours.
Real customers compensated. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Sounds like you heard about our special sale right now, where qualifying installs are 40% off.
Yep, it's why we're now offering 2 windows for the price of 1.
Wait, what was that?
That was the disclaimer. I can make up all kinds of things as long as there's a disclaimer at the end.
I'm not sure that's right, Wilson.
Sure it is. Listen, I can bench press 100 pounds. No, I can't. That's a lie.
Get the windows that Columbus homeowners rated the leading window brand at PellaColumbus.com.
Dip it, dunk it, smother it. It's queso gone wild at Hothead Burritos. Try our new loaded potatoes covered in queso and topped off with hardwood smoked bacon, burritos, bowls, nachos, and more. Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some queso.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Tri-State Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. Tri-State Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
Common Man and Timmy. Voted America's dumbest show by Marconi voters. Common Man is a Columbus radio legend. And by legend, I mean it's a miracle he hasn't been fired yet. And Timmy is, well, Timmy will complain about anything and everything. And he kind of looks like a woman. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So there's that. Common Man and Timmy.
Sponsored by Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
Welcome back to Yeah, That's a Pepper Thing. First up, we've got Harrison wrapping his Dr. Pepper in a tiny quilt so it feels at home. Oh, how tender. That's a Pepper Thing. And over to Becca, who's whispering affirmations to her can.
You're sweet. You're unique. You're the best thing I ever poured over ice.
She swears it makes it taste better. It's not a science thing, but it's a pepper thing. Why do they all do it? All for that sweet, delicious, truly one-of-a-kind taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a Pepper Thing.
Have you ever met a man who wins money betting on tennis? Enter Scotty Vegas. Join Scotty and Dave Biddle for On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Sunday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The best hair on the air. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And the Daily Fan Poll, sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, asks, are you staying up for USA versus Turkey tonight at 10 p.m.? 53% are with Joshua and Ryan Baker. And no, they will not. In fact, some might not even, if it's on the TV, they might just break their television.
I would never do that.
You would never?
No.
Say it's on in the living room. You're not throwing something through the TV?
I purchased that TV with my hard-earned money. I'm not going to destroy my stuff over it.
Joshua's just turning his back to it.
That's all I'll do.
Backtracking through the living room.
That's right.
This is a good point out of Ace. The Scots and the Tartan Army taking over Boston, drinking some of those bars dry, and then going down to Miami and singing during baseball games.
Yeah.
The scenes from the World Cup have been some of the more incredible social media journeys you take with people.
Brother.
Because there's like the German fan that's now in Ohio. I think he's at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Like, that's cool to follow along with.
Yeah, that's been the best part of this experience. Like, people are acting like I'm saying I hate everything that's happened with the World Cup. I have loved seeing people try diner food and experiencing that. I have also enjoyed learning about cultures that have terrible food, like a sandwich that has a thick-ass slice of cheese and the big onion and salad cream on it. That, to me, is insane. And so I'm glad I'm getting that cultural education.
Have you been to England?
I've not.
Have you any interest?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
At some point. But I'm going to pack my own food. Ship it over there.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Because I'm trying to think. This was 10 years ago. It was actually during the World Cup where we went to London, and the food is as advertised. Really, really bad.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Not only is it bad, I think worse, it's unappealing. It doesn't look good.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That could be the most disparaging thing. I guess the worst part of it. And then their beer is warm.
Is that really a thing?
Mm-hmm. Well, room temperature.
Why are we doing that?
Yeah, not a fan. I had thought this to myself, Joshua, when we were talking with Paul Finebaum. When letting him go, we appreciate his time, we appreciate Jody Shelley's time. I told him to enjoy the weekend. And I thought to myself, is Thursday too early? Because I heard myself tell Jody that as well. Is Thursday too early to tell somebody, have a good weekend?
No.
Okay.
And especially, I think, in the summer. You know, people take the long weekend in the summer.
Mm-hmm, sure do.
Yeah, I'm in on that. All right, so I'll start off with this. My first thing. Reese, you mentioned at the top of the show about not wishing the summer away.
Yeah, don't.
And it's something that I am actively trying not to do. You know, this is a good time. Obviously, we're having a good time, having a great time with the family. But in terms of college football, the only thing we really consider during the fall is the games and the outcomes of the games. Not 5 for 5 new Wendy's deal, not NIL, who got this deal, who got that deal, not guys gambling on games. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the outcomes of games, and I'm kind of wishing that to happen, but we have to get to the fall first.
First thing for me, JP, you talked about you've loved seeing the stuff around the World Cup that's happened outside of soccer. I've liked a lot of that too, and one of the people that has kind of taken the week by storm is Freddie, who has been tweeting his journeys throughout the United States. And he tweeted this 2 nights ago. Nightly walk through Ann Arbor and a quick visit to the stadium of the University of Michigan. This is the biggest stadium in the U.S. and the third largest in the whole world. And he has a picture outside of Michigan Stadium. Well, App State took that and they tweeted and they said, Freddie, do we have a story for you? Go App. Might be one of the best tweets of the year.
I love it.
You drove a long way just to see a hole in the ground. I was thinking, I apologize to the person that emailed in about some of the best movies that you should have seen in the 90s, like he's serving in the Navy.
Yes.
And then he had kids. And so along with having all of those duties and responsibilities, you're unable to see some of the stuff. And I wonder if now he's in his 50s, is he too old for Air Bud?
Everybody's too old for Air Bud.
Just not even.
We should leave it exactly where it is.
How about The Sandlot and Little Giants? Because then it started to flow into my head. The sports movies were so much better, in my opinion, in the 90s.
So we had a light Sandlot conversation during Crosstalk. Squints, he's a little bit of a perv. He's a predator. The way he pulled old girl in when he was faking like he was dying, I'm not too sure about that. That was a little bit of a predatory move there.
Was it Wendy Peppercorn?
Yeah.
I didn't think of it like that.
See, these guys are you excuse it when they're 11 years old, and then these guys are out here being creepy at bars.
JP, shoot or shoot. He shot his shot.
He did shoot his shot.
Oh, Wendy.
But I'm just saying, there's a conversation to be had about that scene there.
When she pulled away, he stopped, and then she drug him out of the pool, and then she married him later on.
Which is crazy.
Right. She put a ring on it.
I'm not going to keep going down this road.
That's all I know.
All right. Well, my second thing, we've got new neighbors. that literally moved in like a month ago. And so, I've talked to them, but they've got 2 kids, and James has watched their kids who are a little bit older play in the yard. And so yesterday, while my wife and I were out, my mom was at the house. James and Maddie's younger sister, Stella, walked over to meet the kids next door. My mom sends me a photo. My son, in just a diaper, sitting in their patio furniture, getting to know the new neighbors. Who the hell is this kid? Just walked over naked.
He's your son.
Hi.
Just
Nice
everybody's a friend.
It's a little bit
Despite
wild.
you being a giant human, you're extremely friendly. I can absolutely see baby Joshua Perry doing that.
No stranger danger whatsoever.
Shoot or shoot, Josh.
Shoot or shoot.
Second thing for me. I booked somehow 2 golf outings back-to-back days this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And there's part of me that feels like maybe I should go out and hit the driving range or the course today, get a little loosened up and kind of ready for this weekend. And then there's part of me that's like, well, I'll be ready on Sunday.
If you go to the driving range, you'll hit all of your good shots there.
There is something to that.
Yeah. Might save them if I were you.
It's like, don't score too many points. You're going to need them for the next game. I did, because Baker, you caught me off guard, and I was trying to make my really, admittedly, terrible pitch to why you should watch the United States and Turkey tonight in the World Cup. I didn't know that it had been almost finalized their opponent for the next round with Bosnia and Herzegovina. I think, again, I don't know if I'm saying that one right, but there's a 99% chance that it is Bosnia, the United States opponent. Senegal's got a 1% chance. So you're telling me there's a chance?
A chance.
And I'm not going to lay all that out for you, but I do wonder, maybe not 10 o'clock for the final game, Fox? I know it's West Coast, but
I think you got to talk to FIFA about
like
that.
3 o'clock.
Fox wouldn't do that on purpose.
I will make this my 3rd plus because it was FIFA's president, like the worst Bond villain ever, who said that they don't make any extra money off those hydration breaks, and that's a Fox thing. And so I wonder if it truly is a Fox thing, then they might have more power. But I think you're right.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how all of that works out. My final thing, I am settling into my old age just beautifully. I was at Bridge Park, as I mentioned before, last night. The loud cars driving by while I'm trying to enjoy my dinner, these kids can go to hell. Turn the volume down on the cars, man. I am so tired of it.
Did you see any e-bikes while you were there?
Oh, I saw too many e-bikes. I'm tired of all the things. I'm an old dude now.
No, you're not old. You're sane.
Final thing for me, don't go anywhere. A big Rothman and Ice coming up next for you on your Thursday. We mentioned before, the general manager of your Columbus Blue Jackets, Don Waddell, will stop by at 12:45. And it is a Gold Jacket Thursday at 2:30. They will talk to Hall of Fame defensive back Mike Haynes.
Was good for me.
I enjoyed it.
It was good for you. We'll do this again tomorrow. We'll have Tim May. We'll recap what Ross Bjork had to say today. Tim May will join us at 10:30, and then we'll have another NHL Blue Jackets pre-draft primer with Aaron Portzline. That's tomorrow, Bishop and Friends, 9 to noon, right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day.